Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear TEC Invitational Valorant tournament. We're here today for finals day, starting us off with the lower bracket decided finals to decide the final person in that grand finals position. I am really excited. Aggressive. We had a long tournament culminating to this very day, and these very teams, the top three in our bracket. Before now, it's going to be PARATROOPS versus GODLIKE Esports. How are you feeling, bro?
This is a match that we've been expecting for a really long time to happen. And now it is gonna be coming on out. It's gonna be that revenge story that we all been waiting for to see it once again. And ladies and gentlemen, let us go into the map video screen as we talk a little bit more about the matchup and what we can expect coming out in the following maps. The first map is gonna be Haven. Yesterday, we saw DM pop the absolute hell off, getting 34 kills and 10 deaths on this map. If DM has a similar performance and if his team is able to back him up in the same caliber, I'm pretty sure that PARATROOPS, they're going to have a hard game.
Yeah, definitely. Right? And this makes perfect sense as to why this map is the choice of godlike esports. So paratroops, if they're able to stay strong on this map, maybe look towards yesterday's game to try and pick up some anti-strats, use that to really give themselves a huge advantage, and then play on the basis of that, it would be extremely advantageous to them. So we'll have to see, because going into bind, we know how strong paratroops can be. So if they can solidify an early advantage on Haven, they won't have to go to that icebox map where both of these teams are relatively new, but godlike, they have a teensy bit more experience having played against global esports on that map yesterday. But now talking about Haven aggressive, we're gonna see for paratroops that classic utility-based approach with that Raze and the Phoenix coming in, and for godlike, we're gonna see Reyna for flex and Jet for DM really look to push forward and play a bit more slower as compared to the side of paratroops who like to play very fast, really look for the post plants rather than look for picks necessarily. So this like vast difference in playstyle, I think it's gonna really play into picture with regards to which team is able to understand the other team's playstyle and develop the right anti-strategy to counter it.
First, you also don't need to talk about the fact that Kazuri, he normally always opts to go for the Phoenix pick. And this utility-based approach is what I do believe could be a downfall towards the side of Godlike. Mainly because all of their characters mainly focus on pure gunfight potential, especially the Reyna and the Jet. There's not really a lot of room, I would say, to utilize a lot of the utilities, and they need to rush on in down to a side. But with the amount of stall potential, the amount of cut-off potential that the entirety of paratroops have, it's just gonna be a really hard execute for them. And I'm really hoping that Godlike, they understand this and they are opting to go in for a lot more of the rotation plays, take map control in when it comes to their side of the defense, and then push themselves forward. Take those one picks, because the main strength of Paratroops' composition is when all of the members are able to cycle their utility, use it to benefit the team, and then finally execute down onto a side. And if the side of Godlike are able to just get that one kill, maybe hopefully onto Binks and Kazuri, they're gonna be on the best spot possible.
Yeah, definitely. You want to be able to bait out all the utilities and then play on the basis of your own. Use that Reyna lure to push in aggressively and then find this side for yourself. I do agree. Like, I think Kuzuri was an outstanding performer yesterday. So if you're able to take him out of the equation entirely, it gives you such a big advantage. But for now, it's going to be paratroops starting on the attack, godlike on the defense. It's paratroops, all of them grouping towards that A side, that recon from Shivi, giving a bunch of information, even though it doesn't reveal anybody, the fact that it's instantly taken down, meaning that there's likely more than at least 3 players over there. Now, Paratroops' own recon is going to be Eric with the double shock darts, clearing out that side. Look, the utility-based approach, just as we talked about, the grenades, the shock dart, all facilitating a fast side execute, and now with the plant, it's Binks with the first blood, and Paratroops already able to take their post plants. Edit on the flank, he's going to take down DM, and what a clean pistol round so far for Paratroops.
Beautiful round indeed, especially with the first pick coming on to Scargo. They don't have any smokes to work with, but
Oh.
White Horse, he's probably gonna be able to find something, but the paranoia ever so clean coming out from the side of Izzy. And it's gonna be Edit, Glyph, and Kazuri getting one kill of their own each and every single time. And it's, you have to give it to the paranoia coming out from him. And Kazuri's positioning down inside of under Heaven, he was able to play from the very far back outside of the range of the paranoia. Normally when you get blinded by the Omen paranoia, if you get close enough you can spot out enemies, but in this case White Horse thought that he was going to get pushed by Kazuri, but Kazuri stayed back, went for the full reload, and at range tried to go in for the pick. Good game sense coming out from Kazuri, knowing to not go inside of the paranoia range, or he could have just bit a bullet coming out from White Horse.
Yeah, because that small thing can make an entire difference. Like being close to someone, just getting a glimpse of where their body is at. For these pro players, it can mean instantly knowledge of where the head is at, and they use it to perfection. Now this time, PARATROOPS recognize that they can't keep going for that similar 5-stack. They've used Binks to bait out A completely, able to get a kill even, and in that C lobby area, use that kill to then force C-side completely.
Planted.
They've got the plant and their anti-eco going brilliantly so far. It's Binks on the lurk, looking to hold it down, and Binks gonna be pushed by multiple members. He should hear the footsteps right about now, and these audio cue, these footsteps could be huge. Binks with one kill, takes down DM King, now looking for the 1v2 against Flex and Shivy. He's gonna get taken down by Flex, but he's got so much time for his team. Look at the positioning of PARATROOPS.
They're already holding down all of the silence. It's gonna be Edit. Kazuri just pushing on in. It's gonna be Glyph taking first contact on the Scargo. That Scargo's not really gonna be checking his corners. He's gonna get caught off guard, but it's gonna be Shivy with respect to being able to get that kill on Kazuri. And I will say this is a very successful anti-ego round because a lot of guns have been lost. But at the same time, even if you win out this eco just a little bit by taking out 3 players, that basically means that the side of the attackers can go in for those Phantom and Vandal buys moving on forward. And you know how dangerous it can be, CA. Because when you're on the side of attack, even if you lose a lot of members, you don't really want that bonus round. You want to have those Phantoms, you want to have those Vandals to go in for the one-taps against you, against the side of the defense.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because at the end of the day, it really does come down to where you value your resources being put. On one hand, if you don't lose too many members in your anti-eco, don't lose as specters, you get that free round in the 3rd round, being able to carry those over. But if you do lose them, players like Binks and Kazuri get to pick up the full buys for themselves, and we know how devastating those buys can be. But now let's talk about Godlike with the full buys, because DM, he's gonna get started, get his first kill on the board for today, and this will not be the end, I'm sure of it. But PARATROOPS are looking to just upset the odds, go for a quick B-side executor. I particularly like this because they're facing up against a lot of long-range weapons in the Phantoms and the Mandos, utilizing the Spectres to the best of their capability, getting the B-side execute. But now Flex on the flank, a huge flank. He's already got 1 kill. He's waiting in the window, creating a lot of pressure, but he's taken down by Glyph, and Nightos finding 2 more. Kazuri last man standing in the side, but he has his ultimate ready. Kazuri, can he clutch?
Kazuri ever so consistent. This guy with his hand warmer and him playing Phoenix basically just heads off everyone at this point. Kazuri, you have to give it to this man to push in through the side of B main, immediately getting the first off-guard kill onto TM. He established pure, unadulterated map control before he doesn't even go back. He's like, okay, I'm gonna hold down from inside of B main. I'm gonna make my rotations. Immediately, him after getting that kill onto DM, make sure that Shivy was wasting a lot of time. No backup could come to him. Glyph got that kill onto Flex. Basically meaning that Kazuri has free reign over the B side. No one's gonna be contesting him. He wraps around from the side of CT. Star got seen that he's actually sitting in the back of side. Just gets pushed up and immediately he finds the kill. A beautiful play and beautiful positioning coming out from Kazuri. And even on this round, they just run down Shivy and Edit gets a kill on the Flex.
I mean, the really cool part about the entire thing, as you explained, like the game sense on point, but he didn't even have to use his ultimate to do it. Now using that run it back in this round to gain the entry, he's picked up that triple, baby, and he's gonna push forward for that 4-0 round lead. PARATROOPS on fire, and this is, if not surprising, a little worrisome for the side of Godlike Esports, because this is their map pick. As you talked about earlier, Aggressive, 34 kills was the score for DM yesterday on this map, so we really need that sort of play to come out for the entire team of Godlike. Otherwise, Paratroops, they're going to run away with this map and then go into map 2 with their pick of choice in the maps. And it's going to look like a devastating affair in that place. So for me, what I want to see from Godlike is that operator. As you see it, DM, he's picked that up, and that will be able to hold down one side 9 altogether, allow White House to play much more defensive on that C side with the Cypher, because you know the Paratroops, they're going to go for that rush execute. Now we'll have to see how White House is able to defend this side.
Execute down on the side of C. This could be what they needed, especially with the trap wire. Getting a lot of value coming up from the side of White Horse. They get that kill on a Glyph. And now with a one-man advantage out onto the C side, who's going to be able to find it out? It's going to be Shimmy with the Hunter's Fury, ever so consistent with it. He gets 2 tags. But still, it's going to be Flex going down to the hands of Ezzy with the spike going down as well. Still, the man advantage is in their favor. So Godlike, they're going to be opting to go in for the retake in this situation. Beautiful shock start. See if they can find a little bit of information. Recon Bolt comes out as well. Now spawn out one, but with the Hunter Spirit coming out from the side of it, and White Horse bites the bullet in this situation. Goes in for the second Hunter Spirit. He finds the tag, and he's going to be able to get that kill. Edit. He's going to be able to find it, but with so many members still alive from the side of Godlike, there's not much that he can do. He gets 1 kill, but Edit, he's not going to be able to contest that operator coming out from DM. Holding down that angle. Good try coming out from the side of Edit, but it's still Godlike with a beautiful retake of their own. We're able to take the first turn on their side.
A huge round for Godlike Esports. Not only did they get the round, but they managed to save the operator in the end. DM picking up that final kill. And let's talk about the way it's done, right? Because I really like the approach for the side of Paratroops. But as I talked about earlier, that Cypher defensive setup, basically to deny complete site entry and delay the plant as much as possible, coming up huge. Because with the information from the trap wires, Flex is able to pick up a kill, and they're able to just step back into garage, use that advantage then to push into site. Then Shivy with the Hunter's Fury, I really like that he was clearing the lines behind the spike. I think he was anticipating a very long spike plant, but even though he does not delay the spike, he's able to take down Wings and secure an even bigger advantage for his team. And on the basis of that, they're able to push through for a comfortable retake. Edit, once again, he was on point with his ultimate, but in a 1v2 situation with just your ultimate, you really can't get much done. DM with the op secures the entire round, makes it 4-1 for Godlike Esports, and keeps the economy really stable for them. Now, for Paratroops, they won back-to-back rounds before this, so they will still be able to afford a full buy, but too many losses will start hurting them. I think besides this, they have one more round where they can afford a buy if they do lose, but after that, they will start hurting, so they need to make their ultimates count here. I see the lockdown and the showstopper ready for Paratroops, and those ultimates can be perfect for a fast side entry, and I'm anticipating they do exactly that.
We still need to wait and see how Godlike are going to be approaching these following rounds, because DME still has the operator in hand, but they're still on a tightrope, mainly because they didn't win the last round decisively, CA. So they have no money to work with, more or less, while coming out from the side of Paratroops. Even if they lose out this round, they're still going to be able to go in for a lot of the buys. And especially when Kazuri's feeling it this one, 10 and 2 on the scoreboard, on round number 5 as well. He's getting a lot of kills, but it's going to be DM spotting out one, but it's going to be Flex from the sidelines getting a double kill. He's making the difference, and he's putting the damage, but I think the boom bot's doing a little bit of damage itself. Tag down Flex to only 23 HP. Glyph has a lockdown available. He's going to be able to buff it out, and he's looking to see if he can do some damage to DM, but DM's now staying in his crosser vicinity. Paranoid does come out as well, but Flex, he's able to hold down the sidelines. The classic right leg, Raid Supreme, and Flex, he's looking for Flex, and he could fight it, but he goes out of the dead Flex at the wrong time. It's going to be Glyph to take him out. 20 HP and a dream for this man, but I don't think it's going to be working out. But Shimmy throwing out the shock dart to boot to take him out. As Glyph, he bites the bullet, and it's going to be the same round on the board for the side of Godlike.
Yeah, Godlike, you can see that they're starting to pump up. The fist bumps coming through as well. They're starting to get into the flow. Last round, DM was able to secure it. This round, Flex with the 4K, denied his ace, but absolutely huge with his skills. The way he's able to use his dismiss, especially, to repeatedly get out of those tight situations. On point with the defense, basically stationing both of those units in the A sites, with DM holding down that Suez angle, with the operator and Flex holding down the long entry push into the site itself. Really nice for Godlike Esports. And once again, you can see Flex on that arena, top fragging for Godlike. He's been one of the most instrumental players consistently gets the frags that he's supposed to as that entry fragger role, and able to really play a significant part in Godlike's success so far. Now he has got tagged down really low, and this time PARATROOPS, they realize that they can't just keep pushing into one particular site as a whole. They're now trying to utilize the size of the map entirely, making a bunch of noise at C, now making their rotation towards A, while leaving Binks on the look, and this is key. Because if Binks on the look can even pick up one kill, the amount of pressure he would create would be humongous. For Godlike, they're anticipating this. They've all rotated onto this A side. 3 members on A. Binks, he needs to pick up this kill onto White Horse, try to release some pressure.
Gonna be Kazuri trying to make a difference on the sidelines, but it's gonna be Scargod getting a double kill of his own as well. Cliff answers back with his own calling, and it's gonna be Biggs chiming in from the sideline, being able to take out the operator. DM King goes down in this situation, and with the turret placement coming up from the side of Glyph, catches the attention of Flex, and it's gonna be Edit to take him out immediately with a well-played headshot. Whitehorse goes in for the flick, but Glyph is just way too quick, and his crosshairs already lined up. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be another round on the board for the side of PARATROOPS with a beautiful execution of their own. Kazuri just rushing on in, getting that first initial kill down on the Shivy, basically means that they have no information whatsoever to work with moving on forward, and immediately Glyph with the refrag and with his own utility placement, he was able to take control of the entire sideline, allowing for a lot of these gunfights to be possible. Again, the utility-based meta coming out from the side of PARATROOPS is always a treat to see.
Yeah, it really is, because it's what both of us wanted to see after the recent patch, especially, right? The Jet nerfs perfectly working into the hands of PARATROOPS, because they really like this aggressive approach to using the coordination that they have in a team as a whole to facilitate it. Now, talking about this particular setup, we've seen this particular side push before, using the running back in combination with the firewall to completely split the site, get a simple spike planted, and then go back, play for that long plant and just hold on as much as possible. But this lobby duel is going to be so huge. 2 people on the retake. Is Flex getting taken down, but Scargod able to find the trade, uses the paranoia, but now his position is known. Scargod, he's just trying to buy as much time as possible for his team to be able to pull out the defuse, and he's taken down one. White Horse on the other side takes on another, but now Eric with the kill. White Horse is giving a lot of information, but Glyph with that motion tracking, able to pick up a kill onto White Horse. It's going to be Glyph versus Shivy. Shivy has used his shock darts, but Shivy, patient and waiting, lets Glyph come into his hand, takes him down, and with barely enough time, he will not be able to get the spike through. Shivy, 28 milliseconds aggressive. That was close.
That was way too close for comfort, but still PARATROOPS, they ran the clock up to the very last second. You have to give the heroics to actually Scargod in this situation. He nearly pulled it off. Imagine a situation where the hot hands was not really present for the side of Kazuri. Scargod could have wasted even more time. He wouldn't have needed to push out. He could have been like, hey, I'm going to be poking you and prodding you for so long. This would have given the chance to Whitehorse and DM to get a couple of kills of their own, to establish proper control, and allowed Shivy to go in for the defuse. But I have to say, really good try coming out from the side of GODLIKE, but at the very end of it all, it was PARATROOPS winning out just by a thread because of the clock.
Yeah, Scargod literally went beast mode, holding down that flank entirely. It's so important when you're going for that C lobby play as the attackers. If you have somebody distracting you, it becomes very difficult to hold it down. But as you said, PARATROOPS end up winning the round. Now GODLIKE on the eco, they've got PARATROOPS already an easy plant through, and Binks with the first ward. He's gonna pick up another. The turret and the killshot utility delaying so much. An easy round for PARATROOPS on the cards.
Was of course an eco round for the side of GODLIKE, so not really much to talk about in that situation. But still, I will say at this point, when you're losing out on so many of your rounds, it's a 2-7 CA. You need to try and win out those eco rounds as well in some way, shape, or form. Maybe just economically, or just taking down at the bare minimum of 4 members so you have some advantage moving on forward. Because when you're on a deficit of 5 rounds, it's really going to hurt, because the coordination and team play when it comes to the side of defense, for the side of PARATROOPS, because of the utility-based meta, it's just gonna get even more stronger. GODLIKE, they need to try and get as many rounds as possible on their defense.
Yeah, GODLIKE, they definitely need to at least get a few rounds back. Maybe try for the magic number 4. If they can get 5, it will be even better. But now with the recon, White Horse, he's going to be taken down, and that goes all the utility of that Cypher completely gone. Binks with the showstopper and a beautiful synergetic usage of those ultimates to be able to take side control. But Shivy, he's got something to say. He pulls back to down the spy carrier, and now DM and Flex on the push. They're able to take 2 more down. It's Edit, last man standing with the spike not near him. He needs to pick up the kills, but Flex will land the headshot, and Flex will secure a fight back for Godlike Esports.
Really nicely done coming out from the side of GODLIKE, the way they were able to go in for the retake. And I have to give it a shitty. He's an absolute mad lad. He just literally pushed it through the smoke, denied the spike carrier, denied Biggs, allowing all of his team to rush on it, funnel all through. DM using the contact being made by Shivy to get the first initial kill down on the Kazuri, who was pushing it through the side of Garage, and Flex coming in from the side of the CT angle that immediately pop in the head of Ezzy, popping the head of Glyph as well. Beautiful plays coming out from all of the members as they were holding it down. But it's gonna be DM getting a double kill of his own, and Shivy with his Hunter's maybe getting a kill from the sidelines. The bodies are just dropping. PARATROOPS, they're on the back foot. But it's gonna be Glyph being able to get 1 kill to boot. But with only 15 HP and an angry Flex hunting you down with the Empress in hand, there's not much that you can do, and it's gonna be GODLIKE. They're fighting back hard. Now taking us to a 4-7 score line on their last round.
A really nice round from Godlike Esports. They go for an aggressive mid push, completely catching PARATROOPS off by surprise, using the pressure created by Shivy's Hunter's Fury to allow the clearing of particular angles and funnel them essentially into the mid garage area, able to pick up kill after kill, Flex on the Empress as well, just making his enemies cover. Now 7-4. We wanted magic number 4 or at least 5 rounds for Godlike Esports, so we have a solid foundation to start pushing back on attack, and they've achieved it so far. Now in this last round, if they can get 5, it would be absolutely phenomenal. Now PARATROOPS, the same goes for them. They have 3 ultimates ready. He's gonna start us off with the running back and the lockdown going through. It's gonna be a simple B-side take, but with Kuzuri taking down 1, you cannot afford to give the kills over to that. For DM, he's gonna pull it back, make it a 1-for-1 play so far, and now the Killjoy ultimate gonna go down. Shivy will back up DM, get another kill, and it ends up being Godlike with the advantage, now pushing for the retake.
Like they have the advantage, but at the same time, the positional advantage is gonna be in the favor of Glyph at this point. Glyph with the double kill. He was on the playing field once again. This would have been such a good round from the side of GODLIKE, but this kill is gonna be super important. But it's gonna be Whitehorse winning out of that engagement. And he's gonna be going in for the peak, and actually he's gonna be able to get that kill. And this kill is ever so important. Flex, he's not checking his corners. He's wasting so much time. The spike, there's not really a lot of time to work with. He needs to go in for the full defuse or the half defuse as of right now, making a lot of noise. It's gonna be Flex with a 1 tap to boot. Flex, he should enough time. He's gonna be able to fight it on a 0.41 seconds. Flex with the heroics and the 1 tap to boot with the Sheriff. My God, Flex, you're absolutely insane.
Flex literally God or what? Like what? The decisiveness to be able to do that. Like, going for the diffuse in the first place is a really good play, but you expect him to go for the full diffuse and just wait it out, but he knows that the other player is gonna rush, pulls out the half diffuse, gets the instant 1 tap on easy, and pulls out the entire diffuse with, as you said, just 41 milliseconds left. A godlike play from Flex. That was absolutely insane. I'm still in shock. And my jaw, honestly, I don't know if it's ever gonna reach my mouth again, but damn, to be able to do that, make it to 7-5 for Godlike Esports, and gain so much momentum for your team on the back of it. Now it's gonna be Godlike Esports, despite the fact that they're losing in terms of scoreline, they're gonna have a lot of confidence and momentum going into the second half. Let's see if PARATROOPS can stop it in their tracks, pull off a successful pistol.
Whitehorse whipping a couple of shots there. It's gonna be costing him, especially with no utility coming out from the side. The flags are gonna be open on up, and it's gonna be Kazuri getting that kill on the Flex as well. Beautiful double contact being made by Ezzy and Kazuri. But as seen as coming out from the side of GODLIKE, they're gonna be rushing on in to see if they can do a little bit of damage down on the C side. The spike is still in the hands of Shivy. It's about to go down, and smart plays coming out from the side of PARATROOPS to opt to go in for the retake. It's gonna be the recon ball coming out from the side of Edit. Pure recon to work with, and it's gonna spawn out too, but it's gonna be a body just raining on down from all angles. The triple peaks, the double peaks, and quadra peaks as well. They are able to fight all of the kills, play for the trades, and PARATROOPS with beautiful retake execution came out on top in that engagement.
A really nice pistol round for the side of Paratroops. As you said, the double peaks coming out especially really nice. They're able to continuously get the trades. You can see here on the instant replay, they have the advantage from Eric and another getting a kill earlier, but the way they're able to push in as the spike is planted, use the paranoia to perfection with the recon bow, they're able to get a ton of information and not allow the side of Godlike any time to try and get into their post plants. All of Godlike cornered into the plant area around the Radiant boxes, they just get decimated. And for Paratroops, the momentum stabilized a little bit. They deny it from Godlike Esports, and now with their own guns, they're gonna try to pull it back. But Erit loses the battle of Spectre versus Ghost, which means it's Godlike Esports with the first blood. Now, Godlike, they push into A lot, but you can see with DM and White House now starting to go for the rotate, the rest of the team will do just that. Flex will get taken down, but Godlike, they found their way onto this garage area looking for this seaside plant. But this molly from Glyph here going to be so huge. Setup in the plant position. If they go for a plant exactly there, that molly could buy so much time for Paratroops to be able to push back into sight and deny any such post plants. They're going to go for plant now, but the molly taken down first, and this is something I really like because this is something we noticed yesterday where Godlike wasn't doing. They learned from their mistakes, able to do it. But Binks with the spam through the grenades. Damn, that was quick by Paratroops.
You have to analyze one very important thing coming up from the side of Paratroops, and you have to give the MVP to Glyph at that point. Because first of all, CA, consider it this. How long did the entirety of Godlike spend just staring at the side of CT? They didn't even look at Garage. Biggs just came on in. He's like, gets one kill. White Horse down. Goes for a second kill. The turret goes down. Glyph's just running around there. DM's trying to fight him. Scargo turns around to fight Glyph. And even Shivy, allowing Biggs to get his third kill. And then Kazuri, when they're trying to look at Biggs on the side of Garage, everyone else peeks from the side of CT, catching them off guard. The basis of teamwork coming out from the side of Paratroops is just so clean. They're able to take these 1v1 fights, divide the attention of Godlike, and then take the advantageous duels. They're not going for straight up gunfights. They're playing mind games with the entirety of Godlike at this point.
Yeah, as you said, right, Glyph able to buy so much time, and this is why, like, the Killjoy, it's one of her core strengths, the idea of being able to move your utility around. That turret in combination with Glyph, giving him so much, so much pressure in that CT angle, and so much resolve to be able to just deny any sort of pressure onto Binks, because even though Binks was smoked out, he goes in aggressively, using his utility, picking up those kills. Now, this is the buy round for Godlike, though. And the buy round will be where they look to push back. They spread across the map. They're looking for the picks and they're tagging multiple players down low, but no kills come up yet. So Godlike, they'll have to commit without much information. They're able to find one kill now, but Binks with one, and now Kuzuri with the running back, he's able to get the trades. He's 3 for 3 so far, but Flex will secure the advantage. Now the plant needs to go down, but Kuzuri taking down Flex will get pushed back to his clone. 2v2, and Eric gets the first kill, and Kuzuri with the influential running back, securing such a huge advantage for his team.
That running back coming out from the side of Kazuri, ever so insane. Whenever he pumps that running back, you know for a fact that the bare minimum, he's gonna get 2 kills before he comes back to his original position. And Kazuri using the last second of that running back as well. You can see it on the minimap in this situation. Kazuri getting that first initial kill down to Scargot, goes for the wraparound play over the Radiant box, and then does an instant flip onto the head of Flex, takes him out. And of course, you have to give it to Edit to make sure he takes a forward position, making sure that Kazuri doesn't get caught off guard. And him taking that forward position caught DM off guard, and he was not able to place his crosshair for the headshot in that situation. He was able to take that advantageous duels, especially with the Spectre in hand, as it has a much more higher fire rate in comparison. Goes in for that kill, taking us to the 5 and 10 score. And then CA, this is crunch time for the side of Godlike, because now Paratroops, they have double digits, and there's only 2 more rounds for match point for their side.
Yeah, might be seeing an eco here from Godlike, but this is the last possible eco they can do, because if they do lose this round, it becomes 11 for Paratroops, and you don't want to be playing against overtime at any point and not allow them to get it to 12. So this will be the last breath, really, the last respite for Godlike Esports with the eco. After this, they need to win round after round with the buys. So we'll see how they're able to push through. But for now, remember, you're watching the LG Ultragear TEC Valorant Invitational Tournament. If you're enjoying the action, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Today is finals day. This is the lower bracket decider finals, and the winner is going to go on to the grand finals, the first tournament of 2021, about to end off with a bang. Now, you can see for Godlike Esports Aggressive, the way they keep positioning across their attacking, it's continuously trying to split up. But that's where, like, though I like the idea of splitting up and looking for picks, I think they're committing a bit too early. I think they can shave off about 10 or 15 seconds, wait for that 45-second mark, and then look to commit. Because generally they seem to be committing around the 1 minute mark, and it's not enough to force paratroops like off their positions, not enough to get them to leave their sites. And that's, I believe, what ends up playing against Godlike, because paratroops, as we talked about earlier, right? If they're holding their positions, their utility is just going to come into play. It's going to become very difficult to take the fight.
I completely agree with you on that. Baiting the utility is super important, and seemingly Godlike not doing that.
Get out of my way!
And also, on a lot of the rounds that Godlike were able to win, it was mainly because of the fact that they were able to get the first initial pick. And in this situation, it is going to be DM with a nice getting that first pick down on the Ezzy. But he's going to get caught out by the alarm bot, so he has to back off from the side of Garage. And I'm really wanting to see these type of play come out from the side of Godlike. Play it slow, play it systematically. Try to see if you can find any of the members of Paratroops out of position, or maybe send one of your own members down into their sidelines. Maybe just force out at least one kill, because that one kill is gonna snowball for your team. They're a team that have cohesion when they have all of their utility available, and if you're able to take down one of their utilities, it's gonna be massive for you, but it's gonna be big to jumping on in from the side of the heavens. But it's gonna be Edit being able to give the backup, but DM with the Phantom in hand, he's able to do a little bit of damage, but Edit and Glyph, they're gonna have vengeances of their own. It's gonna be a 2-versus-1 situation for the side of Flex, and Flex with the Sheriff is gonna be a one-tap gone. He's gonna be able to fight one, but he's not gonna be able to fight the second. Flex with the heroics nearly pulled off a lot with that one tap, but it's gonna be Ed getting the refrag immediately, taking him out, and it's gonna be 11 on rounds on the board for the side of Paratroops.
Man, Flex with these one taps. Like, even though he's not able to secure this round, I think he is definitely making his way into the hearts of those Godlike fans, because he is on point. So talking about this round particularly, again, you see that utility play out so well for Paratroops, because despite the fact that they have a disadvantage before Binks' ultimate, the ultimate coming through with the grenade, allowing a forward position. We saw this from the Paratroops when Kuzuri was using his running back too. They used the pressure created from the ultimate, the space created by their duelists, to push in aggressively and use that then to translate into more flags. And this is such an important factor, because you want to be able to use these ultimates not just for the kills and the damage, but to be able to gain these pockets of control. And the fact that Paratroops are doing that shows a lot of promise for this team. But now that was the eco for Godlike Esports. This is the buy, and as we said, this is now their last position, the fringe from which they have to fight back. They've got the first blood, and DM with another will secure an advantage. But now Glyph, he's holding on strong. He's able to find one kill. Now looking for the garage hold, while the rest of his team gets back to him on the retake. It's Godlike Esports with seaside control and a 2-man advantage. Should be a comfortable round for them.
Pushing in through the smoke in that situation is not really what you want to do, especially when you're on the side of the defense. Waiting for the smoke to dissipate would have been the better play, because then Godlike, they would have gotten caught off guard, or maybe Scargod would have to waste another smoke, and in that situation you could have gone in for the retake. But still, a really good attacking hold coming out from the side of Godlike, mainly because they were able to take the entirety of side control. They had garage control in their favor, mainly because of the cyber cage coming out from the side of Whitehorse, so they cannot even push in through the side of garage, because that's going to be an audio queue, and they have all of the sidelines covered, because they're going to be wasting a lot of time, because Scargod, he had a second smoke available, as he did not opt to use it immediately to block off the garage window. This meant that Godlike, they had all the advantages in the world going on to that round, especially with TM just telling everyone that, hey guys, they're all at CT, don't worry about long, don't worry about anything else, just worry about the site in general.
Yeah, like DM able to create so much pressure with his mid push. Even though he gets taken down by Glyph, it allows for a very easy seaside control long push for Godlike Esports, able to get the side control and the spike planted. They're then able to hold on against that retake. Now, aggressive, this is the eco round. for Parachute, so it gives some breathing room to Godlike Esports. They have to make sure to be able to pull this off because reducing the lead with such eco rounds is such an important factor. Once again, DM, not at all afraid of taking those dry peaks, picks up the kill onto Binks and secures a lot of pressure on that side. A very spread out approach, but this time, much more patient approach. They're waiting for the utility to come out of parachutes, and that's very important. Now looking to try and gain some sort of advantage in terms of abilities before they commit to a side particularly. But with Skargard picking up that spike, I think it's going to be a side push.
Flex ever so patient with his own peeking style. He's able to get that first kill down on the Kazuri and then on the Ezzy immediately. And B-side control has already been established. And again, see, this is what I wanted to see coming out from the side of Godlike. Play it patient, play for the picks, because as soon as you get a pick on the entirety of Paratroops, they're going to be scrambling. They're going to be afraid because their entire composition relies on the fact that they have all of the 5 members ready, up and coming to use all of their utility to go in for a lot of these coordinated pushes. If you take out the key factors of utility, mainly being Kazuri, mainly being Bink, then Edit, one of these members going down is going to hurt a lot when it comes to the retake scenarios or when it comes to the defensive holds, and Godlike playing it slow, playing it systematically, trying to find those picks and trying to isolate a lot of these 1v1 duels. I do believe this is the only way that they're going to be able to come back in a lot of these rounds. Now on a 7-11 scoreline, there is no room to make mistakes.
Yeah, Godlike, they're able to pick up back-to-back rounds, but now Parachutes with their full buy will look to fight back and ensure that they're able to get to match point. You can see the way Paratroops are set up is leaving that Killjoy utility down at C-side to hold it down while establishing a crossfire in the garage, expecting DM to push into garage, but that doesn't happen because Godlike, they're switching it up themselves. They're going for this A-side push now. Edit is able to get some information using the Hunter Shiri to try and delay, but doesn't get any tags. Instead, from the shadows being used, meaning that for Godlike Esports, Skargard with a very aggressive positioning down at hell. But Kuzuri able to take down Shivi. That's a spike carrier dropped in the long area. And now Parachutes with a lot of information and the advantage. Flexi's gonna push in though, gonna find the trade onto Binks, and now it's gonna be down to the rest of Parachutes to try and wait out the time, play it very patiently. They're gonna use the lockdown to try and do just that, but Kuzuri knows that he's getting pushed with multiple angles. Tries to use the flash to gain himself some pressure, but instead just gets taken down by Whitehorse. They're able to escape the lockdown, and Flex, he gets detained, but he buys so much time for his team to be able to go into C. Even though he gets taken down, Flex able to just allow his team for this easy C-side push.
Ooh, Whitehorse. That one tap so crispy. One bullet from the bag, it was a one headshot for this man. I don't know why that rhymed, but it's gonna be Edit going in for the retake scenario down onto the C side. Not much that he can do with 3 members swarming him, one from the left side, one from the right side of that Radiant box. He's gonna get taken out immediately, and it's gonna be another round on the board for the side of Godlike and CA. This is what Godlike needs to do. They need to try and find these picks. They need to isolate the 1v1s. They need to bait out the utility. And this is how you go up against the utility meta that Paratroops have established. And Godlike, they're doing it beautifully.
Yeah, Godlike, like the way they're doing it especially, right? As you said, continuously baiting out those utilities. First, the Hunter's Fury, then the Lockdown. They know what to expect and they're able to play against it. But Flex's flank so huge, the way he's able to get a kill, buy a lot of time for his team to get to that C-side, absolutely humongous. Now, once again, a dry peak for DM. He picks up that first kill and Flex with another towards that B-side area, meaning DM gets his third and B-side completely open. The eco for Paratroops completely in tatters.
1 HP and a dream for our boy Edit here, but how much is this 1 HP gonna help, especially up against Phantoms and Vandals? Is the real question. The coffin dance is about to start. Edit gets 1 headshot, but not gonna be able to get that. He's gonna be able to take out his twin brother. And it's gonna be a 9-11 scoreline. And you have to give it to DM. He has probably entered his DM king mode because that was so quick. Biggs just literally saw the shoulder of DM, and already DM just ended his life with a well-placed headshot.
Yeah, I mean, DM, his reactions are, we know it to be absolutely insane. It's why we see him really thriving on this Haven map a lot. But there's this pattern I'm starting to notice aggressive. Like I remember even yesterday on Icebox, on the first half of Icebox, TM wasn't looking that great. Like he was basically bottom fragging, not looking at his best self. But towards the second half, he really started to pick up the pace. Once he got warmed up, he started flexing on everybody, started getting frags left, right, center. And I see it happening here once again. You see in this round as well, Flex and DM picking up those first 2 kills. The entirety of Godlike, it feels like now they're starting to come into their own, starting to understand the tendencies of Paratroops and try to use that against them. Now the plant will go down for Shivy. Paratroops, they're at a disadvantage, but they have to push through for the retake. This is their buy.
Cover going out.
This is really important for the side of Paratroops. You cannot lose out round no matter what. Even if they have that man disadvantage, but it seems as though Flex, he had something else to say about it. It's gonna be SE getting the first initial skill, but it's gonna be Scargon being able to get that one-up advantage on the edit. And White Horse holding down from the side of CT, goes in for the wraparound flank, gets that kill down on the SE, takes him out. And it's gonna be comeback season this time around for the side of Godlike as they take us to a 10-11 scoreline. And CA, that round just solidifies the fact that it seems as though Paratroops, they need to find something different. They need to find a way to go for a lot more defensive holds or try and establish map control to go up against the slow, picky-based playstyle that Godlike are employing.
Yeah, I think Paratroops, I feel like they need to stop taking those peaks against Godlike because it just plays into their hands. As you said, right, it needs to be much slower and much more precise with where they're really looking for those particular sightlines. Rather just use your utility, even give up the site and play for the retake because we know how strong Paratroops can be on those retakes. Not losing that first blood can just play an instrumental role in you losing the round. So you have to make sure that you're looking very strong when you're taking that first peak. Now, Paratroops, they will be able to afford this by having lost multiple rounds back to back. The lose streak bonus coming into play here. But for Godlike Esports, once again, a completely spread out approach. A lot of noise made towards that A and B side with White House lurking down in garage. But now all members grouping onto this C-long area. It's going to be the push for Godlike Esports. Now, Kuzuri has his running back. So I'd like to see Paratroops playing for the retake. But Bings going down to Flex and Glyph getting tagged really low. This looks like Godlike Esports might be on the track to making it even.
Making it even, or that kill could come out from the side of Kazuri, but it's not going to be able to. It's going to be Scargon and White Horse making the difference. Scargon with his double kill. White Horse looking for support, but it's not going to be enough as Scargon gets a triple kill to boot. Scargon from the sidelines gets a strong defensive hold and a triple to boot, and it's going to be even Stevens on the scoreboard, CA. From a detrimental loss of an 11-6 scoreline, I believe, now back to an 11-11. They have the momentum in their favor. They have the economy. They have everything on their side. Godlike, they're looking to close it out with one more round to go into match point for both sides.
Yeah, a huge win streak coming out for Godlike Esports. 5 rounds back to back, really starting to hurt the economy of Paratroops. I think this next round they will be forced to go onto the eco. So the ball really now in the court of Godlike Esports. Flex with 24 kills. We say Reina is the Feast of Famine champion. Flex literally flexing on Paratroops, able to feast and make sure that the success of his team comes through on the basis of that. Now, DM and Flex, they push in aggressively. They're able to pick up a kill each, but as he answers back, Stargard able to get the trade though. But with those smaller weapons, there really is nowhere to go.
There's not much that they can do, especially even if they get a couple of kills at this point. It's not gonna help because the time you've got like they have enough money to go in for buys when it comes to their next round. So that is gonna be match point almost, I would say, in their favor. And it's bullets left as he's making his way down from inside of garage to see if he can find one more kill or maybe even clutch out this round. Very much possible down in this 1 versus 3. But with all of the crossfires being set up, even if Edit gets this one kill, it's going to be detrimental for him. The spike is going to be taking away. He does have his ultimate. He does have all of his utility to work with. It's going to be Scargon running on it. He's going to get caught off guard. One bullet in a dream, and Edit is going to get taken on immediately by White Horse going in for the repeat. And it's going to be match point for the side of Godlike CA. And see, as though they have their mojo back, and they're looking to close out this map.
Right here. Right here.
Yeah, Godlike Esports, they're on a huge win streak and they might just pull off a huge comeback here, being able to take that match point down, or we might go to overtime. Chat, tell me what you think. If you think we're gonna go to overtime with Paratroops, it's hashtag believe in Paratroops. If you think Godlike will be able to close off this insane comeback and this map, hashtag Dil say Godlike. Either way is aggressive. I know we're set in for a bang. This round is gonna be Godlike Esports spreading themselves around. Scargod on the look towards C. The rest of their team with White House looking down the mid, group towards the A side for Eric. He gets an information, gets the tag, but he's not able to get the kill. Instead, will just do a little bit of damage. It'll be White House on the look, picking up a kill onto an aggressive looking easy. And now Godlike Esports with that first blood, they're gonna look to push through. My eyes are gonna be on Binks. If he's able to survive with his operator as well as with his showstopper, he could make a huge difference, get a couple of kills, make sure that his team still alive in this map. But Godlike, they are oh so patient. They're waiting for Paratroops to make the first move and walk into them. And that might just be what happens with Binks here. He will get tagged by White Horse. And now with that information, Godlike Esports, they will rally together, go to Scargod and look for the seaside push.
Slowly making their way down from inside of a garage. So right now it's gonna be White Horse. Yeah, you know exactly what GODLIKE is. He's holding the side for as long as he can, but with the ultimate coming out from the side of Scargod, he thought that the push could come in a bit more earlier, but it's gonna be Clip being able to take down one. It's gonna be White House from the side, like they're taking out Kazuri. DM gets one on the left. The ultimate has been popped, but they're pushing it straight through a smoke. There's not much that they can do. Paratroops, they get taken out with beautiful plays coming out from the side of GODLIKE. They systematically broke down the entirety of the utility-based strategies that Paratroops were trying to employ, went in for the picks, and they were able to take out map number 1 in their favor on a 13-11 scoreline.
Yeah, just continuously like allowing Paratroops to fester really in their own positions, get a little impatient, and then try to go for this aggressive peaks again and again. You can see Godlike, they're able to find their advantage on the basis of that, essentially just openly challenging Paratroops. Hey, if you don't come take a peek, we're gonna surprise you out of nowhere. If you do take a peek, we're gonna die. Either way, win-win for us. And they're able to pull off an insane comeback. But I will say for Paratroops, like I did see some sort of hope, like with players like Kazuri really performing on top. So hopefully they'll be able to translate this sort of performance into map 2, where it is their pick, and try to take us to map 3. But for now, it's DM King. Even though he has 3 lesser kills than Flex, just edging out in terms of the ACS by 2 points, will pick up the MVP. Both the duelists were on point, though, but 9 first bloods for DM. That's absolutely nuts to continuously find that opening kill, facilitate his team's push on the attacking side. Now, I know aggressive, we have plenty to talk about, so let's quickly get into the LG Ultra Gear match highlights. Really talk about why the comeback ended up happening, because as you've mentioned, like it really felt like GODLIKE started to understand that, hey, what Paratroops really excel at is continuously using that utility to their advantage. We saw multiple rounds where the Showstopper or the Lockdown or even the Hunter's Fury were able to essentially close out the rounds individually. Kazuri with his running back, for example, creating so much pressure. GODLIKE able to continuously avoid this by breaking down the entirety of the map to these pocket areas where they're trying to take these 1v1s again. You saw then when that play started to happen, the 9 first blood for DM, a significant portion of that coming through in the attacking side. He's able to continuously get that first kill and the advantages. But the clutches for Flex as well were on top today. All of GODLIKE Esports firing on all cylinders. Paratroops, they need to pull back on their own map.
Want to go for revenge against me. We all know that after what happened yesterday, coming on out from the side of GODLIKE. But at the same time, we also don't need to give credit towards the side of Paratroops. They were able to play really well on their own attacking half, but when it came to their defensive half, it felt as though they were lacking mainly in the department that I hoped that they would play a lot more for the retake scenarios. But I do believe that GODLIKE systematically breaking them down, getting that first initial pick onto one of these players. I would tell you this over and over again, that if GODLIKE were able to find that first pick off, that means it certainly means that this is going to hurt the entirety of Paratroops' retake. They're not going to be able to play for a lot of these retake scenarios, mainly because they rely a lot on their utility. And with one member going down, one of the key members being either Kazuri, Binks, or Edit with the recon bolts, if any of them die, these retakes are going to be close to impossible, because we know how strong the defensive holds are coming out from the side of GODLIKE, especially when DM, Flex, and Shitty are alive to give all of the information, give all of the utility that they have on their own terms. And Godlike, they were able to just isolate a lot of these 1v1s that a lot of the other teams were not able to when they were facing off against Paratroops. And we have to give them props for that, to understand how Paratroops are playing. And CA, moving on to the next map, Paratroops, they may need to try something different, or they're going to be able to just showcase how good the utility meta is on Bind in comparison to Haven.
Yeah, I do think PARATROOPS will get a little bit more comfortable going into that Bind map. It is one of their strongest maps. We've seen players like Bings pull off just insane clutches on that map. So I know that they have the potential to come back because, as you said, we have to give props to this team for the insane plays they were able to make, the lead they were able to take, and how close this map really became because we know how strong Haven is for Godlike Esports. I'm sure PARATROOPS will be back with the bank, but for now, before we get into map 2, make sure you check out the links in the description below for some amazing discounts and hit that like button to show your support. We'll be back really soon with map 2 of the LG Ultragear TEC Valorant Invitational Tournament. Bye-bye. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear TEC Valorant Invitational Tournament. We're here back for Map 2 in the lower bracket decided finals between PARATROOPS and Godlike Esports. I'm CM, joined by Aggressive on the mic, and this is going to be an exciting affair because going into Map 2, let's quickly look at what we have in store for you with this Map Feature screen. I think Aggressive coming into Bind, this is the home of PARATROOPS. This is where they look at their absolute best. So I think we can expect a comeback, but it remains to be seen, can they stop the force of DM and Flex?
This point, if DM and Flex are feeling it this much, even on Bind, they're gonna have a hard time. I'm really looking to see the utility-based meta that they have opted to, going for their team to be a lot more potent and a lot more stronger on the map of Bind. Bind is a very utility-focused map. Mainly, the skill cap when it comes to the map of Bind always relies on your gunfights if you're opting for the usual jet and raise combination. But when it comes to the side of Paratroops, they have a different take on it. When it comes to the map of Bind, I normally always think about the gunfights and the raw aim potential of a team. But when it comes to Paratroops, they have the potential to be one of the best utility based teams in the entirety of our region, mainly because of the way they approach this map. So I would say Godlike, they have their work cut out for them, but at the same time, we do know what kind of a beat Scar God turns into whenever he saw that Brimstone.
Yeah, I really like that Brimstone coming through. We did see it yesterday. Flex should pick up that race. We saw him absolutely pop off as well. So it's not like Godlike don't have much firepower on this map by themselves. We saw this yesterday though, right? The key difference in these compositions will end up being the lack of a flash on the side of Godlike Esports. Kazuri bringing that Phoenix, he'll have that to work with. Now, having said that, the key reason to Godlike being successful on the map yesterday was for them being able to continuously find these picks the way they did in Haven, looking for the first bloods, relying on either DM or Flex to create the pressure to then facilitate a fast side execute and play on the basis of that. I want to see if they can pull it off here as well, because for the side of Parachutes, this is home. We saw Kuzuri and Binks doing really well on map 1 as well. This is where they should feel at their very best, so we'll see what can happen. Now, the one thing I'm definitely going to look to see is how Glyph's Killjoy placement comes through. I think the Sentinel Nano Swarm Grenade and Molly placement can be so important to how you're able to stop a particular site entry. So we'll see. Paratroops right now down a map. It's time for them to fight back.
It's gonna be really difficult for them in the long run as well because Paratroops are now on the back foot. They are going to be feeling the pressure, and we're gonna be seeing DM calling out all the strats in the background as we watch his camera. But now, Sia, I want to throw you this question. How much is this
Revealing
utility-based
area.
meta going to help, especially knowing Godlike, they've already adapted to it? It's going to be really difficult for them in the long run.
I I have the opinion that in general, any meta that you play should not be a one-dimensional thing in the sense that the team should be capable of playing something different, right? Because the moment the other team starts understanding that playstyle, they are bound to counter it, and that is much more likely in esports in general. So I want to see what else Paratroops can do, or how differently they can use their utility to play a bit more aggressively, perhaps try and find the utility on the basis of that. But for now, it's Godlike on the attack, and Flex finding the first kill. They've got the spike planted down a B side. It's Whitehouse on the lurk, and Binks with the hookup push. He's gonna get cornered on both sides, get taken down as well. Now Skargod finds another, and it's just Kuzuri and Easy left. They don't have much information for that recon. We'll give them a little bit of it. Easy, he's gonna go for the defuse, but he's gonna get taken down. The pistol round to Godlike Esports.
No round execution coming out from the side of Godlike, and yes, the entirety of Paratroops, they were opting to play in for the retake scenario, but at that point, the retake was not really going to be working out, especially with Binks pushing in through the side of teleporter. Yes, he pushed into the teleporter, and DM used his smoke really well, especially with the new changes. Now the smoke being only 4.5 seconds. This basically means that no one can hide inside of the smoke, because if you hide inside of the smoke, your own timing is just going to get caught off guard, because normally you would expect the smoke to last longer, then you can peek out through the smoke, catch your opponents off guard at a different time interval. And DM, knowing that, was able to take that one of advantage tools, and shutting down that hookup push basically means that they don't have to worry about any of the flank routes. And on this round, it seems as though they're going to be pushing it straight through from the side of Showers. And Binks, he's caught in a rock and a hard place, but it's going to be Binks with the one-shot kill with the shotty. And I'm pretty sure that Skargon, he's not going to be happy about it.
Yeah, Skargar being like, wait, I just walked into the smoke, I got insta-tapped by that shorty. But that's okay, because he's the only person that goes down from Godlike Esports. The rest of them able to take full side control. And now with White House getting another kill, we Flex finishing us off to secure this anti-eco in the favor of Godlike Esports. Now, I noticed that both Flex and DM did not opt to go for the buys. So given the fact that only one person went down, the next round is essentially going to be a free investment round for both of these players. They will be able to pick up their guns and carry over the Spectres for Whitehouse, Shivi, and the Skargard. So for them, this round very much simpler in terms of eco as compared to the side of Paratroops, who, as you can see, is going to be all of their money on the line. Barely a couple hundred credits left in the bank. Paratroops investing everything they've got, as they rightfully should. This round, they have to fight back. Now, on Bind, we always talk about how the map generally defense favored because of the idea that there really is no mid and the sideways are considerably easy to control. But in esports, especially in the very top half of those teams, it becomes a much more fluid map with the teams starting to use their creativity. Now DM, 9 first bloods in map 1, he's going to continue on this game for find a couple, but easy with the spam, he gets one kill and he's able to do a bunch of damage. Can Binks now delay the push? He cannot. DM with the triple is Godlike with the advantage.
Movement coming out from DM in that situation. DM knows exactly where the head of Glyph is gonna be. Goes for the tap, hits one headshot, goes for the second tap, hits a second, and DM's looking for that ace. But Kazuri, I do believe that this is one of the players we cannot count out no matter if he's in a 1 versus X scenario. And down in this 1 versus 4, it seems as though Kazuri, he may be thinking that, nah, I don't think I want to give this ace to DM. We don't want to give him get him on the highlight reel because Kazuri wants it for himself. He's going to be back in on off. And DM trying to hunt down his ace at this point. He's going to be running on down from the side of CP to see if he can get a kill on the Kazuri. But he's going to be making a run for it into the awaiting hands of Whitehorse, slowly lurking up from the side of Market. Maybe getting this kill. They're slowly creeping on him from both angles at this point. Kazuri hears the footsteps. He may take a peek, he may take a fight, but he's opting not to and may be able to take out Skargod. So one gun down from the side of the attackers, and poor old Skargod, he's not gonna be happy about any of it.
Yeah, Skargard again take it down. Even like, why do my guns go away every single time? But he's gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna look at the scoreline. We have a 3-round lead. We've taken down Paratroops in their bye. So now an even further lead on the cards here, given the fact that Paratroops will have to go for the eco next round. Only Kazuri, who saved his gun, will be able to continue with the full buy. The rest of the team forced onto those pistols, meaning on the attacking side, without any flashes, Godlike is on point, and it's largely due to players like DM picking up that 4K, for example, in the last round, creating so much pressure for their team, allowing like players like Whitehouse and Shivi to really lurk and help with the support. All of Godlike, they're playing into their specific roles perfectly. Skargard as well, using the molly, as you can see here, to clear out the lamp's angle entirely, forcing Easy forward with his teammate back. No backup for Easy. He'll get taken down. 2 kills already for Godlike Esports. Now Kazuri, he's the only one with the guns left. He's gonna have to get something done. But Godlike, they already have side control.
Last player standing.
Headshot on the 1, but it's gonna be Flex from the sidelines. Flex getting a triple, but it's gonna be Kazuri taking him out immediately, and he's hunting down. But the RB coming on in. EM, he's gonna be able to go in for the peak from the top with all of the noise being made by his teammates down near the side of CT. And these executions are ever so clean and so beautiful coming up from the side of Godlike. The way that they're establishing map control, the way that they're playing for the first pick. It seems apparently they cannot even establish the utility-based gameplay that we know them for, mainly because they're opting to go in for the first initial peak, and as soon as information is found, DM just pops ahead of, or even Flex just rushes on down in, using his utility, baits out a lot of these shots, and just takes control of the entire map. But do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that was an eco round coming out from the side of Paratroops, and now, on their second buy round, we need to see a retaliation coming out from them.
Definitely, because they cannot afford to go down 5-0 on the defensive side. It's going to become very difficult to start pulling it back from there, especially considering that they're 1-0 down in the series as a whole. Paratroops, this is their moment to make that stand, push forward, and fight like lions to come back. We'll see if they can do that. Now, Godlike, they made a bit of noise towards that B hookah area, but now they've all grouped up towards its A side, trying to get the push through. Delayed by Binks' grenade, but once again, the lamps smoke for the side of Godlike. This time, they're gonna use it as a bait, though. Leave one person there to take down the boom bot while the rest of them start rotating onto B. But the discipline from PARATROOPS so important. The drone from Eric will not actually spot out anybody from Godlike, but that's okay because both Edit and Glyph, they're just waiting in this B side for that push to come through. But now Flex with the showstopper, he's looking to bring the party to Paratroops. Binks able to pick up the first kill, though Scargod with the return, and now Flex with the showstopper. He's not able to get the kill, but is able to push into the site aggressively, allow his team to get in himself.
Positioning coming up from the side of Flex to get that kill on a Kazuri as he tries to push it with a run it back. Not really a lot of information to go through. Flex doesn't really spot out the fact that Edit was there, but it's gonna be Glyph from the sidelines getting that kill on his Scargod. DM answers back on the Glyph immediately with trades. 3 versus 3. The spike is yet to go down, but the White Force going in for the flank. Everyone's gonna be funneled it down into the side of CG. It's gonna be DM King getting that kill down on the Kazuri. White Horse goes in for the peak. He gets a kill on the Edit, and Flex from the sidelines with a crossfire setup for the side of Elbow, for the side of Hookah, from the side of back of side. Every single angle was covered by this entirety of Godlike as we go into a 0-5 dominant scoreline for the side of Godlike Esports.
0-5. Winning another buy round. Godlike Esports, they are on fire. As you said, right? The positioning for Flex so important because Kuzuri's running back gets denied instantly, and that positioning came through from the usage of his ultimate. Even though he's not able to get some damage, he's able to clear out the site entirely. 9 kills for DM, 8 kills for Flex. Both of these duelists really leading the charge and aggressive. This is especially promising for me to see because you know how we always talk about this jet race composition, about how you need to use it aggressively and quickly, try to find a coordinated push using the mobility and pace of these two duelists. We rarely actually get to see that in action, but Godlike, they're able to do exactly that now. The orbital strike from Scargod baiting out Flex a little bit because Glyph chose to play a very aggressive angle, dodging out the orbital strike and using his Bucky to get into the face of that race. Take him down. Glyph able to get a kill for Paratroops, securing this first blood and advantage, but they don't have the weapons. So Godlike, Whitehorse, and Shivy able to get a kill back each now. Easy. With the frenzy, he's able to pick up one, and now with the guns picked up, Paratroops on the lockdown will go for the retake.
But with a beautiful reverse ultimate coming out from the side of Shivy, the lockdown has been destroyed, and he may be able to get a tag. He's not going to be able to, as things have slowed down quite heavily. Both of the members coming down in a 3 versus 3 situation, but it's gonna be Ezzy and Glyph from the sideline getting the kills. It's gonna be Scargod getting the first initial, but with the hot hands coming out straight on his body, he has nowhere to run. He cannot hold a good defensive position. He gets taken out immediately, and it's gonna be a thrifty round on the board for the side of the defenders. And Paratroops finally being able to break the momentum, especially on an eco round. Their morales are gonna be running on high moving forward.
Huge round for Paratroops. Glyph especially, playing that aggressive angle in the start of the orbital strike. Godlike were not expecting that at all. Flex caught completely off guard. He gets taken down, and with that, and Easy getting another kill, they're able to get the guns, which then facilitate this eventual retake. Even though the lockdown gets destroyed, an ult for an ult trade means that Glyph and Easy, with the double peek, able to push into this site and get the kill, secure the round. And a thrifty round is the perfect way to start pushing back, start coming back in this map. So now, for Paratroops, they'll have all the momentum on their side. Godlike Esports, they're gonna have to be smart to nip it in the bud and keep the momentum in their favor. Now, the Hunter's Fury for Edit, he's trying to predict the positioning. He's able to find a tag, but not able to find a kill. Shivy, he's tagged down low, but no kill just yet. Instead, it'll be Kuzuri on the other side of the map, using the help from Easy to push in aggressively into that Showers area, get that first blood, and secure the ult point for himself. Now, you can see Paratroops, they're gonna hold back their position. They took a kill. Now just gonna wait in their sightlines for Godlike Esports to approach them. And this recon from Shivy and all of Godlike approaching this B side, I mean, once again, playing into the hands of Glyph and Edit with all of that Killjoy utility set up for them to walk into.
The B side is very dangerous to go into, especially when you do not have the showstopper available coming out from the side of Flex. And this one dangerous kill could be what they need, but with the recon coming out from the side of Edit, this could be what they need to do a little bit of damage, but no one's gonna go
30
into the
seconds
wall
left
just yet. And seemingly with the party coming out from the side of Biggs, it's gonna be Scargod once again fighting the bullet of the ultimate in this
Player
situation.
standing.
But still, bodies are gonna be dropping it left and right. It's gonna be Ezzy getting a double kill, but Jimmy's answering back with some kills of his own. He's gonna try to go in for the spam, trying to go in for a kill, but Ezzy, he's taking the defuse down as hard as he can, and Jimmy, he can't do much whatsoever. As the spike has been defused, as we go into a 2-5 scoreline, Paratroops, they're slowly making their way back.
Yeah, a really nice diffuse holding through while the rest of the team covers his backs. Easy able to pick up the diffuse and the round, and Paratroops on that really nice hold able to pick up the round. And this is what I meant, the momentum for Paratroops now really starting to pull through, the strength of the entire team really showing why we consider this map one of their strong houses really coming into light. Now for GODLIKE Esports, it's all about trying to get to that 6 or 7 round score mark. If they can get to 6, it itself would be huge. So one round picked up would mean they go into the defensive side with a very comfortable scoreline on their part. And Paratroops, they're going to have to do their very best to try and deny it. Now looking at the ultimates present, I noticed the lockdown available for the side of GODLIKE and the running back available for the side of Paratroops. That lockdown can just be used to go for an aggressive B long push and then play on the basis of that. But aggressive, like I really do feel like I want to see more of the usage of aggressive peaks come out from GODLIKE, because I feel like that was one of the most important factors for their comeback in map 1 and their lead in map 2. Those first bloods can just change the way the entire round is played.
Completely agree with you on that, and the fact that GODLIKE is now opting to go in for a much more of a slower approach, especially on the map of Bind, that really doesn't work out. Bind is one of the few maps in the game that you want to be aggressive on. You want to take the fight to your opponents. You want to force a lot of these gunfights, and especially for the fact that Bind, it's like two ideologies clashing against one another. Here on the side of Paratroops, you have them focusing on the utility. They're wanting to play it slow. And on the side of GODLIKE, if you want to counteract that, you cannot play slow yourself. You need to try and take a lot of these fights, force your opponents down out into the open, use all of the utility that you have available, and then rush in together as a team to take those advantageous duels against them. And GODLIKE, they need to try and find is they need to always go in for these 2 versus 1 fights, and this is what they need to do. But Kazuri with the run it back, he gets a kill onto an unsuspecting TFG, and this isn't gonna hurt them, especially with Biggs getting that kill on a Widos as well. 2 members already going down, and ladies and gentlemen, Paratroops, they have the man advantage in their favor, but Flex is able to turn them back just a little bit, but he just gets 1 kill. How much is this 1 kill going to help is the real question.
Yeah, now it's Paratroops with the 2-man advantage, but you can see Shivy, he's gonna start rotating onto this B side. Even though Eric was about to leave, he gets a premonition of this approach from GODLIKE, makes his way back, and Glyph from the elbow will take him down. And I completely agree, Aggressive. I think there might be a cast circus going on here, because the moment I mentioned that I like the way the Jet and Raze are being used aggressively to play that quick pace, as you mentioned, rather than the fixed playstyle that GODLIKE are playing now, I feel like they stopped doing that. They started trying to get picks across the map and essentially playing into the hands of Paratroops, because you can see in this round how this works for Paratroops really well. The running back from Kazuri Rouge really proactively to get a lot of information, but also kill down at that B shot angle and force GODLIKE continuously between those 2 spots where they can't really push B side aggressively because the Killjoy utility holding it down, and they can't push A side because there is a tree stack. You have to try and commit to one particular side and use your ultimates to your advantage to try and force it through from the very start. And we can see now GODLIKE, they might just be trying to do that. It's Flex and DM pushing in from the showers, the rest of their team trying to get the A shot push. Now the first blood has come through, and DM with the double. What was that shot? Makes up the advantage for GODLIKE Esports. The fight is back on for Binks. Binks has something to say about it. Through the smoke, lands the headshot. Binks with another. What is going on? Both of these players on fire. Can Binks clutch this through? Because right now GODLIKE, they got the plant. They got the advantage. Now Binks with the blast attack. He's looking for more, but he's taken down by Flex. Eric with the headshot though will not be able to pull it through. Flex with the final secures their entire round, and that was back and forth, a roller coaster of a round.
Is Ian's wrist okay? I want to know if his wrist is okay. What was that flick down onto CT? DM, we're gonna be seeing this on the instant replay. First of all, Blinks gets a true smoke kill, a headshot kill on a Scargon, and then look at DM. Look at this man. What was that flick? like this is just a showcase of mechanics and game sense coming out from all of these players. Yes, that was a really incredible round to boot coming out from the side of Godlike when it came to the strategic aspect as well. Flex, he was holding down the front Radiant bulk, the triple stand bulk, while PM went for the instant peek onto Kazuri, gets that wallbang kill onto him, and with the help of Flex, he was able to get the kill onto Ezzy on the back of side as well, and then immediately pushing on up. You should always take aggressive control of CT and lamps whenever you're trying to take control of A side. And DM knowing this, he had the 6th sense to go in for that flick as well. Man, CA, I'm still amazed by that.
Ouch.
I mean, I am amazed as well, but at this point, it's like I start expecting it off of DM because he is that godlike player that we know. Now, Flex with that opening grenade kill, he's gonna use the satchel packs to propel himself into side, get another for his team, and hold down this aggressive position for Kazuri. Kazuri will deny that, pick up a kill, and now lose the flash to get more. But Kazuri, I think a moment of delay ended up being disaster because even though he's able to get one kill, he gets traded out instantly, leaving Edit as the last man standing. Edit now gonna push through lamps, look for something.
Remaining.
He's able to find one kill, has his recon to get some information on this killjoy's positioning. Will use just that to do so, but the molly is available. He turns his back at the wrong moment, gets taken down, and it's godlike esports with a 4-round lead.
You know what I love most about that play coming out from Whitehorse? He placed the turret so far back that Edit thought that he was actually at spawn still. He was actually somewhere near market in that situation. But Whitehorse, he had a much more forward position near the side of boxes instead. Absolutely insane game sense coming out from Whitehorse to make that play, to make that read. And then Edit, he's like, okay, I just threw out my recon bolt. He's not gonna peek again. And even if he does peek, he's gonna be pretty late. I can go in for optimism and go in for a peek. But Whitehorse, ever so beautiful with his game sense, just comes in from the sidelines, knowing that Edit's gonna be going in for that kind of a play, taking us to this 3-7 score line. Godlike, they're playing all of the mind games right.
Yeah, being able to take that instantaneously, you usually expect in a 1v1 the attacker who is defending the spike to play much later on that peak, but Whitehorse able to play the 1v1 mind games, wins that round, and now you can see Godlike, they're trying to push through. Binks his boombot and grenade were used to delay the push a little bit, but it won't be much as now Godlike Esports using that lockdown from Whitehorse to get into the site aggressively. They're going to be able to get in the alarm bot placed in that elbow area, and they're going to use that time to get the plant through. But all the paratroops are here, they're ready for the retake. The Omen ultimate used to try and get some information for paratroops. Will not get much, but now the turret set up is going to be Kazuri and the rest of paratroops pushing for the retake. The running back used now. Can the running back actually get some damage done? We'll have to see. Eric, he picks up one kill, and Kazuri with another, clearing up that long entirely. A beautiful retake for paratroops.
This is very possible. This is very much possible, but at the same time, it maybe is not, because Kazuri has something else to say about it. He's like, DM, I'm gonna be taking your head clean off, and Flex, even with the last really kill, but you have to give it to Ezzy in that situation. He had nerves of steel. He just jumped into hookah like an absolute madlad, being able to get that kill onto Flex. I don't think DM was ready for it. He's like, what the hell is Ezzy doing here? He just jumps on it, gets that kill down onto Flex, takes him out, leaving DM down in this 1 versus 2. Would have been very much possible, but at the same time, we're talking about Kazuri here, and we know how clean he can be with his one-taps if he knows exactly where you are.
Man, Kazuri has been so good today. You can see once again on top of that leaderboard, 10 kills to his name. Really a shining light for this Paratroop squad. Him shifting onto that duelist role has been absolutely brilliant. So now Paratroop's winning that round. They keep the hope alive to try and get to 5 rounds at least, and then look towards the attacking side to bring out that chaotic, explosive playstyle that we've grown to love them for, to try and pull off that comeback now. You can see all of Godlike group towards his A side is going to be Flex and Whitehorse playing down at the A angle. But the orbital strike used to clear out lamps entirely will push out Binks. And in goes the push aggressively for Godlike Esports. But Flex able to pick up one kill. Binks gets the trade with his own rocket though. And now 4v4 on the map. Godlike being delayed for as long as possible. Kuzuri with the long flank. He needs to get here ASAP. Godlike, they're able to pick up the kills and try and push into sight with the mollies and the shock darts with the recon, delaying them as long as possible. Now Kuzuri making his way onto a shot. This flank could be huge.
This flank is what could be the deciding factor, and yes, it already is, but it seems as though Star God, he has something else to say about it on his own term. The double peaks are going to be coming on in. It's going to be Glyph getting a kill on the sideline. And it's going to be Edit being able to survive for just a little while longer. And Edit, he's able to survive as well. He gets that headshot on the DM, taking him out. And Edit from coming in from the sideline, get that skill on a Scar God. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a really close round coming out from the side of the defenders. I did believe that Edit should have died in that situation, especially when he had to go in for the reload. But DM didn't want to push his advantage because he didn't know exactly where Glyph was going to be at. Couldn't go in for the push in time. And Edit, him being able to get that kill onto DM, just made sure that Scargod, he's going to get pinched from two angles. He has to look on his left and he has to look on his right. There's no way they could have won out that round. And a beautiful retake scenario coming out from the side of PARATROOPS, especially with Kazuri going on that flank.
Yeah, DM missing those knives did hurt a little bit, but for Scargod, I have to feel bad. That was a nice try, but it felt like against two low health targets, he could have definitely clutched through. But against two low health targets and the sixth man of PARATROOPS with that turret, it felt basically impossible. That turret, like, just causing so much distraction. It's so good on that side. Now PARATROOPS was able to pick up 5 rounds, but for Godlike, even though they lost that round, they will be happy with this scoreline. So PARATROOPS, they're gonna be have to quick and fast with this pistol to make it even, get the anti-eco in their favor and push through. And they're gonna do exactly that. It blinks with the opening kill. PARATROOPS, they're angry about the fact that they're down and out, but they're gonna use this attacking side to their advantage to push through aggressively. Now Shivi, pincer from both the sides, caught in a sandwich, still get taken down. PARATROOPS with a 2-man advantage, and now the spike planted. Godlike stuck on either angle for the retake.
Right here.
Do what they can. It's gonna be Scargod getting peeked to the side. It's gonna be DM from the sidelines. Gets the first initial kill down onto Face, who's gonna be on the top side. Scargod answers with the kill of his own. And this may just be possible, but from the side of Godlike, they are gonna be extremely low. And this retake is just gonna get even more harder because Scargod has folks available. It's gonna be Glyph on his signature Killjoy, being able to get multiple kills down from the sidelines. And he goes and pops the Molotov, uses the turret to his advantage, and also the alarm bot to get all of the kills that he needs. A 4K on the pistol round as PARATROOPS, they take us to a 6 and 7 score.
Now you can see for PARATROOPS, this having won this pistol round is going to be so important because now they will be able to get their Spectres, look to play with those full buys to find the even scoreline and then look to push through on the basis of that. This is really the X factors for this team. Their ability to play this explosive playstyle on attack, on bind is what makes them such a powerhouse on this map. So we'll see if Godlike able to find a way to deny that as a whole. Now you can see Godlike Esports, this is their eco, so they went for an eco rush on A side. I'll give them a bunch of information about PARATROOPS' positioning and trying to use that, going through the TP. They're able to get a couple kills easy. He did answer back, but a 2 for 2 works in the favor of Godlike. But now the rest of PARATROOPS, they rally back. Kuzuri and Eric picking up the first kill, and what a bloodbath within the first 20 seconds of the round. 6 out of 10 members already down.
Still, it's gonna be White Horse trying to make a little bit of a difference, but the 6th man of PARATROOPS, as you stated before, swaps him out and probably gonna be able to get some kills. It's gonna be White Horse doing a lot of eco damage actually at this point as he takes out Kazuri. And Kazuri, because of the tagging that happened and also the bullet jump that occurred because of the headshot that he had, he was not able to get that reverse kill down on the White Horse. Beautiful shots indeed coming out from him. Being able to do, at the bare minimum, take down one more member before he goes down himself. So 3 guns have been lost from the side of PARATROOPS, but at the same time, we talked about this before, ladies and gentlemen. Even if you lose 3 guns, losing 3 guns on the side of the attack is not that big of a deal. Mainly because you got that spike plan down, you have that extra money to work with, and having those Phantoms and Vandals when it comes to your attacking half just is an icing on the cake going up against all of the other strong armaments that the side of the defense side.
Yeah, definitely. For Bings and Kazuri, having those Phantoms will be huge. But now Godlike with their own buys, they're going to try to push back, pick up the buy round. But Easy, he's a man with the mission on the entry roll as an Omen, picking up that double with the headshot. Bings through the smoke. How many through the smoke kills is this guy going to get? A 3-man advantage for PARATROOPS, and Godlike instantly just like, well, we can't really do much about this anymore. We don't have the ability, like we don't have the agents to push through for the retake. I mean, just the Brimstone and the Killjoy. The smarter decision would be to go for the save. So they do exactly that. PARATROOPS winning a buy, they'll take the lead.
They're gonna be waiting it out and seeing what they can find. But see, in that round, I have no clue what just happened. Enzy's like, guys, I think Kazuri had enough of an entry player role. It's time for me to step up to the plate. He's like, I'm gonna go kamikaze, jumps in from the side of Hokaf, gets the first kill on the DM, who's not suspecting an Omen to just jump out of absolutely nowhere. I do believe he expected a flash coming up from Kazuri so he could just duck under the side of Hookah, but he just saw a flying Omen, a purple blob, just come out of instantly somewhere, headshot and then headshot Shimmy, and then the entire control of the side is in their favor. And Biggs, how many, like, you asked how many through the smoke kills he has? I'm pretty sure this is counting to about around 10 or so, counting
That's
his other
nuts.
matches as well. What is this man on? We don't even know at this point.
I mean, I think the fans in the chat might be able to give us an answer because honestly, the number of through smoke kills he's able to get, the game sense to be able to do that is absolutely nuts. But now, Paratroops, they picked up a round, the buy round, and now they have such a huge advantage. The eco force for GODLIKE Esports, but GODLIKE trying to do the best with it, able to get one kill from Shivi with the one tap, but Binkson easy. They're playing so quick with their peaks, able to trade it back, and now go for the full rotate. The Omen ultimate coming out for easy. He's gonna try to take heaven control. Gonna look to win this duel against White House, but White House, the one of the players who saved his guns, able to take him down. Now Kazuri, he'll clear out the lamps area, but White House with another. It's White House and Scargot, the players who saved their guns in the last round, trying to clutch out this. White House and Scargot pushing in aggressively now. They are revealed though, and while a 1-for-1 trade goes down, the spike is planted, so the onus is on Scargot to push through. He has one smoke to his name. If he can smoke out the showers area, it will be huge. But Eric, he's playing an even going for the peak, but Scargot, what was that headshot? Oh my god. Clutches out the round and a thrifty, basically a thrifty for GODLIKE with only 2 guns in that round.
It was absolutely insane coming out from the side of Scargot. Actually, that was a very massive flick. Scargot actually on my screen when I was watching it, he was actually aiming down near showers. And from that shower, he went in for an insta flick on Edith's head. Edith had his crosshair trade, but before he could even pull the trigger, Scargot's like, nope. I'm gonna end your soul right here and right now. Goes in for the headshot and then the body shot for the secondary to finish him off. Beautiful plays coming out from the side of GODLIKE. Even when it came to their eco rounds, the last 2 guns that they saved came out massive. And this is what you need to do, especially when you save guns. You need to make it count even when your teammates are not able to go in for the buys. GODLIKE doing that are able to take us to an even scoreline once again on an 8-8. And seeing this could go either way, and we may just be looking at an overtime.
You should run.
Yeah, definitely. But the momentum going to be in the favor of GODLIKE Esports because now they have the orbital strike ready as well. I think Scargot is going to wait for the plant to push it all the way through. He hears the plant come out and he's going to do exactly that. The beautiful Kazuri as well. And while the plant goes down, I see how he used the ultimate in the long area actually, forcing them to either commit to the plant or try to run away, essentially guaranteeing a lot of advantage and kill for the team, knowing he has his own lockdown ready. They'll push in now. It's GODLIKE Esports able to take backside control, but can they get the defuse through? The time is running out. This DM with the blaze storm trying to find a kill. Misses his shot, and Binks able to pull out his gets the right click, Glyph with another, despite the heroics of Scargot. So far, it is Paratroops putting everything on the line, winning the round. Glyph, what was that?
This round was an absolute roller coaster of emotions. The bloodbath and Glyph with his aim and ended with the Hunter's Fury. Everything came out into full fruition, ended causing so much commotion with the Hunter's Fury, and Glyph using it like a pseudo flash just went in for the peaks, and they could not see Glyph whatsoever because of the Hunter's Fury being right in front of his face, and Glyph getting that one-up advantage because the Hunter's Fury on your screen is going to be a different color in comparison to the side of your opponents, and he was able to just take all of the kills for their side. And you have to give it to the side of Scargot as well. Initially that round, he used the orbital strike in a way to get the first initial pick, knowing that Kazuri used his own ultimate down here at the side of Long. And that was such a beautiful play. GODLIKE had so many attacks.
Play that round well, but Paratroops, the way they're able to get these clean executes, you can see it in this round as well. Even before we done talking about the loss, they're able to pull off this round such a fast execute. This is their strength, the way they're able to get the plant off and then play in a very coordinated manner for the post plants. In the last round, it was the Hunter's Fury as well as multiple players getting those easy kills with Glyph, as you said, picking up. In this round, they're able to just utilize the fact that GODLIKE, they had to go on the eco to use their better weaponry, go for the aggressive peaks, and again get those kills. PARATROOPS looking so damn strong on the attack. And we talked about this, like, unlike most teams, PARATROOPS, they really enjoy playing in this chaotic fashion because for them, the biggest strength lies in how I think good their communications are, because to play in such a chaotic fashion while remaining coordinated, you not only do your communications have to be good, they have to be clean in the sense that you have to be very brief and frank with your communications. You can't have extended periods where you say too much. You have to be absolutely perfect with the calls you're making and the call outs you're giving. And the fact that PARATROOPS able to do this shows us exactly why they're here today on this finals.
PARATROOPS, they're just answering back on all cylinders, and I am trying to understand in a way where GODLIKE is getting flustered at this point. It seems as though the strategic aspect that we saw in a lot of their previous rounds is not really coming into fruition when it comes to the following rounds. The utility-based meta that the side of PARATROOPS are establishing at this point, when it comes to their attacking as seemingly is a lot more stronger in comparison to the side of their defense. The way that they're using their abilities to enable them to take a lot of these gunfights, and the way that the team members are using the utility being used by others to just enhance their own gunfighting capabilities just astounds me. And now on a double-digit scoreline, PARATROOPS, they're looking to close it out and take us to match point. But at the same time, we do need to see of what exactly GODLIKE can do. And GODLIKE, in my eyes, they need to try and take a bit more of an aggressive approach. Do not let the side of PARATROOPS dictate what kind of a flow this map is going to have. It seems as in a lot of these rounds, it's PARATROOPS just pushing on in. They're forcing their own advantage. They're funneling all of the members of GODLIKE into sidelines that they would expect them to be at, allowing them to take these advantageous duels. And moving on forward, I want to see GODLIKE just go in for a lot of these proactive plays instead of the reactive plays that we're watching them do as of right now.
Launching smoke.
Yep. They really excel at the idea of forcing the other team to just play on their own terms. The way they execute a particular site, they're very fast with their push, they're very fast with their spike plant, but they're very calm with their post plants. Now Binks with the showstopper gets shut down by Shivy. That's going to be huge. Shivy and DM on this crossfire down at Garden, picking up kill after kill, and DM, he's going to have to leave his teammate in the lurk. Dashes out, but gets taken down by Easy anyways. Now Flex with his own showstopper, bringing the party, secures the lead for GODLIKE Esports. Kuzuri, he is low, but he will be able to heal up with his firewall, but doesn't have enough time to go for the full rotate. For Eric picking up a kill, they're going to do just that now. Both Eric and Kuzuri, I believe, they are just at the edge of their ultimate, so if they can pick up one ult point, perhaps, actually not available here, so no ultimates will be available, but this plant will be able to go through. It's going to be up to Flex and White House on the retake.
Now coming down from the side of CT, it's gonna be a lot of members, but at the same time, it's gonna be White Horse with an aggressive position down onto Edit. He gets caught off guard. Didn't expect the push to come out this fast, as already Lance control was established and Edit getting caught completely off guard. And White was taking first initial contact down onto Kazuri. He thought that White Horse would still be pushing, was not checking from the side of CT, and Flex catching him off guard in that situation was able to get that kill and take him out. And on this round, you have to say that the hold coming out from the side of GODLIKE was absolutely insane. The pause really showing the provision when it comes to the tacticality that it needs to calm the team down, to be like, hey guys, let's read. We know we can do this. We know exactly what's up. And now, in this round, you saw as well, the positioning coming out from them was incredible. And Binks, he pushed it a bit too early. He pushed it a bit too fast, alone, without Kazuri as his backup coming out from the side of B long. And this is very important. Whenever you want to go in for a fast rush down onto the B side, you need to have B long control. Otherwise, the rush is not going to work out.
Yeah, definitely. For that plant, for Kazuri, I think he took his finger off the plant for the last minute, but damn. The shots from Eric picks up the trade after Flex getting the opening kill, and Easy with another meaning now. B-side completely open for PARATROOPS to take just Shivy. Left to hold it on. He's waiting under the window. His position gonna be huge. Now Easy will take down one, and Shivy revealing his position. Takes out the clone, but able to take down Binks as well, leaving White House last man standing. White House will end up going down. That's PARATROOPS picking up yet another round, taking us to 11 on the scoreboard. And damn, this map is close. Back and forth rounds for either teams. So chat, you tell us which team you think is going to be able to edge it out. Are we going to see an icebox? Can PARATROOPS close it out? If you think so, tell hashtag believe in PARATROOPS in the chat. But if you think the Godlike will be able to pull off a comeback here, push through, pick up the entire map and series win, hashtag Dil say Godlike in the chat. But aggressive, I know either way, both of us will be satisfied.
And I know either way, we don't care which team wins at this point. You just want an icebox map, that's for sure. We all know the real truth, CA. But at the same time, let us really talk about what exactly is happening in this matchup. In this round, I do believe that Godlike dropped the ball mainly in the situation that once again they played it a bit too passively. They were not really establishing a lot of back control. They allowed them to just set the flow of the entire fight, and here is what's hurting them the most. Now, on this 11-9 scoreline, they don't even have a lot of money to go in for these buys. And I'm wanting to ask you this question: do they opt to go in for the save, play for the overtime, or will they go in for a force buy and try to keep on fighting?
I always think that you should not be playing for the overtime because it puts you in such a pressure situation. If you make one tiny mistake in terms of a call or in terms of peak, or if the other team just manages to get your headshot first, you just lose the entire map as a whole. So I would expect buys to come through for Godlike Esports. They also have the ultimates ready in the Hunter's Fury and the Orbital Strike to play around. So I expect like lighter buys for Scargard and Shrivi because they can play on the basis of their utility. Vitos as well, he can play on the basis of his utility. Let the duelists get the full buys and then hope that they're able to get those opening frags that are really, really important. Now coming back to the idea of what strategy we'd like to see Godlike really employ, I really want to see this shifting of positions that we're going to see now from Godlike Esports, keeping 3 members at B this time, and the setup changed for Whitehorse. They're going to go for an aggressive Showers control, and this vibes in with the fact that they have those limited weaponry with the Spectres and Stingers. They're going for the close range battle while leaving a shot to the mercy of that Killjoy utility. If PARATROOPS do go for a quick execute down into the Showers angle, they're going to take a lot of damage. But now you can see the Boombot as well as the Hot Hands coming out. It's PARATROOPS going in aggressively looking for the plant, and already they just completely sequester the site. The smoke's dividing it as a whole. Now with the spike plant and the mollies down, they can easily play for the post plant.
It's gonna be Shivy with the first initial Hunter's Fury, and he's gonna be able to get that kill down on the big. But Kazuri is gonna be able to take down one of his own sidelines with the utility coming out from the side of Godlike, ever so crispy and ever so clean. They're able to do a lot of damage, and they're able to find the kills. The man advantage in their favor from the side of the defense. But it seems as though Scargard, all of the kills are coming out from the side of utility. No guns required, ladies and gentlemen. Scargard with the volley, Shivy with the jump starts. They're coming on back, one after the next. The utility meta is no longer in the side of PARATROOPS. It seems as though Godlike, they're like, we know how to use our abilities as well. They get 4 kills just with abilities.
I mean, we did ask for Godlike to go for the buys on their duelists and hope that their supportive agents with the Brimstone, the Sova, and the Killjoy play on their utility, and they did exactly that. So I am very happy with that approach because first with the coordination in the ultimates, right? The Hunter's Fury and the Orbital Strike being used around the same area to force them into making a very difficult situation when you're going to get killed. They're both able to get a kill each on those, and then both of them using their molly and shock darts in unison, in basically inviting PARATROOPS to walk into the molly that was hidden by the smoke, get hit by the shock dart as well, and end up playing into the hands of Godlike. We wanted these aggressive picks, and TM doing exactly that, able to take down 2 more. Now the attacker Killjoy ultimate was destroyed, but Easy able to get the trace to meaning 2v2 on the map. Vitos securing the lead, and Vitos playing Ringer Rosie with Binks. Can Binks go off the top and get the kill? He will do exactly that. Equalizes the agent pool for both of the teams and just slows down the pace for a little bit. But Scargard on a huge flank now. I don't think Erit is expecting this at all. Scargard, he's gonna take down Erit, drop the spike carrier, and set up an even scoreline for his team. Flex with the last kill, and what a huge round for Godlike Esports. What a flank by Scargard.
Skargar with the massive brain plays, goes in for the flank and gets the spike. Like, the main thing that we do need to talk about is the fact that Edit had the spike on him. Imagine a situation if, let's say, Biggs had the spike would have gone down and Edit would have not even looked in front of him. He immediately looked back for the flank routes. And this one play alone caused this to happen. But at the same time, you have to give it to DM at that point, because the way DM just pushed it from the side of B-Long, he had no regard for his own safety. Everyone was looking at Flex, who got pinged by the Owl drone, and they all thought that, hey, DM went in for a dash. He's probably just running on down towards the side of Elbow. But DM, with the massive brain plays, he went in for the aggressive peek instead, gets the double kill, causes a lot of commotion, breaks the lockdown as well, so that all of his team members could play deep inside of side. They don't have to really give up a lot of side control. This allowed them to take a lot of these fights in their favor. Beautifully done coming out from the side of Godlike to take us to this 11-11 scoreline. And now seeing, this could be anyone's game, because all of them have buys and anything is possible.
Yeah, I think this was a small tactical pause taken by the teams, because this is really close for PARATROOPS, especially being 1-0 down. And as you said, anything can happen here, because we know exactly how close these maps has been. The first map was 13-11, and overtime was taken to us just by an inch. So maybe, just maybe, we can get an overtime here in map 2. Really just extend the beautiful entertainment, the action we're getting here tonight on display. Make sure, chat, if you're liking it, hit a like on the stream. Show your support to the stream as well as these teams. Now it's going to be PARATROOPS on the attack, looking for a B-side push. They're able to get a bunch of information. Now Eric with the Hunter's Fury, he's able to get a tag, but not get a kill with the edge of his ult at the last moment. Takes down DM King, but Shivi playing at the edge of the window, jumps and takes one out as well. Now Edit with the trade, but Flex with the counter kill, meaning Flex on fire now. Picks up another, but Glyph takes him down. It's kill for kill, but Godlike on top with Vitos securing that last one. Glyph with just 7 HP, it's Godlike looking for match point.
Why are these teams toying with my emotions? I understand I'm a caster, but this is not fair whatsoever. Edit, absolutely insane. What was that prediction? Kill down onto DM, but at the very end of it all, Shivi once again goes in for a jumping headshot onto Hookah. What are we playing? This is not Valorant anymore, ladies and gentlemen. But at the same time, we do need to talk about what is happening right now with Glyph. 7 HP and a dream, but this dream could just still be a dream because 2 members are still alive from the side of Godlike. And they're looking to close out this round. Glyph has beautiful positions of his own, but with only 7 HP, one tickle is gonna take him out, and it's gonna be White Horse tickling his own clone at this point. It's gonna be 12-11 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. It is gonna be match point for the side of Godlike. And Skargot says sorry to spoil the party at this point, it seems.
I know he's not sorry at all. Skargard especially consistently playing the Brimstone so well. We talked about this a lot in the earlier stages of the tournament. The team that is able to adapt to the patch really quickly. We talked about this in context of Icebox for Global Esports, but for Godlike Esports is that Brimstone being picked up on Bind, which is being such an X factor for their team. But talking about this particular round, as you said, it was a roller coaster of emotions all around. Shivi with that play, Edit with the Hunter's Fury, like all around, every single player really stepped up, and poor Glyph, left with just 7 HP, wasn't really able to do much to influence this round. Now going into this last round, the eco hurt for PARATROOPS. There's going to be a couple of mixed buys, the Bulldog and a couple of light shields, so definitely the advantage of Godlike, considering they have the showstopper and the lockdown ready as well. But you can see, PARATROOPS, they're not going to give up so easily. They're going in for the aggressive push. Now looking for the plant is Binks with the ultimate push to the smoke. But DM, he expected that, the instant flick onto the head of Binks, meaning no ultimate push through. It's 4v5 on the map. PARATROOPS left on the retake. But Kuzuri with his own ultimate, he's going to push back. Now, it's going to be Whitehouse's lockdown to try and buy some time for his team to go on the retake. But Kuzuri with this running back is basically denying any pressure from that lockdown. But Flex, you can see, he's going to bring out the showstopper. Can he get the fire in the right hole? We'll have to see. His garden is where all the match. He's walking into the mollies though. He's getting hurt a lot. Glyph able to pick up a kill. DM with one and Shivi with another. Now they're going for the defuse. DM holding it down, calling for the defuse, but easy on the time. He's got so much time. There's no more time left. Even though they're able to get the kills, they're not able to get the defuse. Overtime it is aggressive.
First
Switching
question.
sides.
Why
Overtime.
did they let go of the defuse when 3 members were still alive going up against 1? The miscommunication, the 1-second communication gap between the members of Godlike caused this to happen, CA. And I honestly was like writing this off, being like, good job, Godlike. They take us to a 2-0. They're gonna be moving on to the grand finals. But at the very end of it, the one small mistake, the one minute mistake caused this round to go away, taking us to overtime at this point. And this could go either way, because PARATROOPS, they're going to be reinvigorated, being like, Godlike made that mistake, basically meaning that we can now take this fight down, and we can come on back. And this time around, it's going to be Godlike on the attacking half. Let's see what they're going to be doing moving on forward.
I 100% agree, man. Like, I think they left the defuse too at like the very last moment of the half going through, because if they had got half the defuse, they would have had enough time to finish it off. But hey, overtime is definitely something I can go with, and something that I know all of us in the chat as well as here are gonna enjoy. So we'll see which team able to find the consistency to win back-to-back rounds and secure this map in overtime here. It's gonna be Godlike Esports starting us off in the attack, PARATROOPS on the defense. They're gonna leave Glyph by his lonesome on B to come for this rotation onto A. Since Godlike, they made a bunch of noise on A but aggressive. You can see Godlike, they've already rotated onto B side. If they go for a quick execute now, they could catch Glyph unaware.
Now holding down towards from the side of elbow. Slowly making his way down. Not really a lot of information being given away just yet. It's gonna be DM taking aggressive control down here from the side of Hookah. A lot of utility has been popped as well. Glyph, you do so much. The B side is gonna be completely empty. But a beautiful recon coming out from the side of Edit basically means that they're gonna be holding it down. Big still is on the other sideline. Not really a lot of sword potential in their favor. And smart play coming out from the side of the defenders. They're gonna be playing for the retake, but Big, he gets caught off guard by White Rose. They hit for the sidelines. He does get a drop down, kill the food. Scargon goes in for the spray, but the chance to connect and gets a second kill from the sidelines. It's gonna be Kazuri. And Flex, he gets a double kill. Now, all up to Scargon. Sorry, White Horse in this situation to try and clutch out this round, but White Horse, he doesn't know exactly where the bomb's gonna be at. And Glyph with his own beautiful position, he gets the altitude, and Kazuri's gonna be there to back up his teammate in this situation. And it's gonna be a comeback round coming out from the side of PARATROOPS, as we're gonna be moving into a 13-12 scoreline into the next round of overtime.
I need a drop.
I really do think as soon as that Killjoy utility got popped for against Godlike in their push into B side, they had about 40 seconds left. You can see right here, this is when they elect to go into the push. There's more than enough time to elect to go for the TP, because A side was completely open with only Binks holding it down. That TP could have made the entire difference, but instead they commit to this B side. And even though they get the plant through, the fact that all of PARATROOPS was ready, they push in aggressively for the retake, leaving Vital stranded in that B-long area. As you said, with no information of where the spike is planted, an easy round picked up for PARATROOPS. Now with match point looking to take us to map 3, it's them on the attack, looking for this B side here. The elbow held by DM and Shivy. The drone from Shivy should give a bunch of information about the positioning of PARATROOPS. The grenade coming out to delay, but the plant going down without much damage done to PARATROOPS, meaning now they can play for those post plants. DM, he's gonna get taken down by Kazuri, and it's gonna be up to the rest of Godlike to push through for the retake. But Scargod, he knows that someone might be on his corner, so he's delayed. Binks buying a lot of time. With the flick, able to take him down, and now that's the cue for the rest of his team to push on for the retake. 4v3 for Godlike. The shock darts coming through, though the spam coming through. They're trying to delay the defuse as much as possible, but by they decimate PARATROOPS and they'll pick up the round.
Was an absolute bloodbath down the other side of the long CA. The bodies just dropped simultaneously. You just snap your fingers and the entirety of PARATROOPS are just gone down the other side of B long. The match is getting even more intense, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because these teams, they're going to be going in for the long haul. Are we going to be seeing an overtime record being broken? I do believe our record was 17-15. This could go either way at this point, CA. We are going to be in for a long set, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that would be amazing, because both of these teams are so close, man. If we're looking at the scorecards, You see Kazuri with 21 kills, Easy with 21 as well. They're leading the shots for the side of Paratroops. But on Godlike Esports, 24-23 for Flex and DM, but 21 for Whitehorse. The Killjoy really stepping up today for Godlike Esports. The rest of the players, Shivi with 15 and 14 as well. Scargord with 9 assists, really playing that Brimstone to perfection. So you can see, for Godlike Esports, it's Flex now opening the charts, getting that first blood, and Glyph with all of his utility down, he's left alone in that elbow area, tagged down really low. It's going to be up to hold it down. Now Godlike, they're going for the plant, but the grenades and the spam coming through to try and delay. Will be able to get a kill for Bings, and now 4v4 on the map. It's going to be Paratroops pushing for the retake.
Now, slowly making
Satchel
their way
out.
forward. He's gonna be able to come out on top. It's gonna be Bings going in for the spam, but who's gonna be coming out on top? It's gonna be Bings or Scargon. Both get tagged out pretty low, and it's gonna be DMK coming in from the side of the Scargon, getting a double straight through the smoke. Incredible gameplay coming out from the side of Godlike as they're able to hold down the sideline, hold down the fort. This is the way that you need to play the game, ladies and gentlemen. Godlike, they're able to come out on top in this engagement, take us to this 13-14 scoreline. The side that they lost on previously, now that they have won it out, the harder part of the task is done. And now Paratroops, they're going to be feeling the crunch time because this is their side that they lost it when it came to their own overtime round. So now it all comes down to this. Will Paratroops be able to come on back? Will the new strategy they opt for them to go onto this A side without shower control work out? We're gonna be seeing it soon enough.
The full Killjoy setup by Whitehorse to hold down the showers, and that looks like where the Paratroops might be going. They haven't taken down the turret just yet, and they will do so now, but a bunch of damage done to Paratroops, and this site push delayed for as long as possible, meaning now it's going to be up to Glyph to hold it down, but the boombot and the grenade for Flex, he'll pick up the first blood. Now they're trying to take Lamp's control, and Easy will be the one to push through, get that first kill to make it, even as they do just that. But you can see for Godlike, they're all here on the map. They're pushing for the retake. Is DM King picking up a double kill as Glyph also is back. DM King still alive. Will be Kazuri picking up one. Now DM and Shivi. DM able to pick up one, but Binks with the answer back. It's DM versus Binks. 1v1 to keep Paratroops alive, but to secure the series for Godlike Esports. DM, he's gone for the half defuse, but now he's going for the peak. Can Binks delay for long enough? He's buying so much time, and Binks will do exactly that. Binks with the clutch. What a calm and collected play. Cool as a cucumber. He's able to push through, take us to another overtime. Damn, this is close.
I don't know how I feel anymore, man. What was that play, Biggs? He doesn't even peek. He gives no naps. DM goes in for another fake after going in for the half defuse, and Biggs is like, nah, I know this guy. I know how he plays. He didn't even re-peek for a single second. The reading and the game sense coming out from Binks in that situation. We could just be going into an 18. I don't know anymore at this point. How many overtimes are we gonna be seeing coming out from both of these teams? They are neck and neck. They're at each other's throats with that knife, ready to cut it out. Ladies and gentlemen, now on the second overtime, it is going to be the side swap. Once again, it's going to be Godlike going onto their attacking half to see if they can do the damage at this point with a fast execute down onto this B side.
Now, at this stage, you have to start feeling the tiredness in your hands. You have to start feeling the mental pressure as well. And the team that is able to be consistent besides it is going to end up winning out now easy. He's able to pick up the first blood on the lurker down at A, and Glyph with the more down, able to pick up two more. Paratroops looking for their own match point here. It'll be Binks with one, and Scargord left on his lonesome, picks up two really nice kills. But Binks with the trade and the final kill. It's Paratroops with the match point. And Godlike here, they went for a very fast execute onto B side. For Paratroops, they're almost starting to expect this now. Able to play very defensively in their angles. Play heavily for that retake, just deny it altogether. Now match point for Paratroops. Can they close it off?
Now is the real question, see, will they be able to close it off, or are we going to be going into another overtime? Now the pressure is going to be felt coming out from both of these teams, because on the defensive round of like, they have a really strong hold. The way they opt in for the retakes is really good as well. But coming out from the side of Paratroops, I would expect a much more utility-based approach. They're opting for the same rushes over and over again, and this may just not work out in their favor. It is gonna be DM getting the first initial kill down onto another big. So good, the DM with his usage of audio at this point. He catches Biggs off guard, thinking that DM's gonna be opting to going for a wide swing, but he does the fake footsteps, waits it out, then immediately goes for a walking peek through the smoke. Biggs was not expecting any of this, and DM with the 2 kills already gives a massive advantage towards the side of the defenders, and Flex spots the tippy top head of Edit, taking him out immediately and getting a lot of tanks out on the Kazuri, and DM with a wraparound flank gets a kill on the Glyph, and Kazuri, he's gonna be up against the entire world, gets spotted out by the recon bolt as well. What can he do in this situation? Not much. He gets hit in the head by DM, and DM with a 4K to clean it all up. The one-man army, it seems DM on this round gets a 4K for his team, taking us to overtime number 3.
That usage of the vision impairment with the cloudburst being in the way, in combination with the audio bait from DM, just I think like absolutely phenomenal. You know how like you eat something really good, you're like, mwah. Like that's literally just that. DM on point to take us to another overtime. I think aggressive, your prediction at the early stages of the overtime might just come through. We might set a new record here. The last time it was, I believe, Noble versus Trios, where we saw, and then previously, even before that, the biggest overtime I've personally seen was with DM himself against in Challenger Series 2 against Velocity Gaming. So DM here, we'll see if Paratroops and GODLIKE Esports, if they're able to set a new record. Before now, 15-15 on the scoreline. Once again, the side swapped. Once again, the teams will go through the motion. It will be GODLIKE Esports on the attack, Paratroops on the defense. And this is where I want to see which team is able to, in the moment, bring up new strategies, really surprise their opponent. You see, GODLIKE, they might be going for an aggressive peek here, using an aggressive A-shot smoke to establish control for Flex, expecting a fast execute from the side of Paratroops. But it's actually Bings taking control of the A-shot angle. GODLIKE trying to go for a complete B-side push here. They will get spotted out by that turret. And now you can see Bings having pushed into A-shot, knows that all of GODLIKE is in this B side, is going to send all of his teammates through on their rotate, try to hold on this side. GODLIKE, they've taken side control, but they haven't got the plant through just yet. It's going to be Skargård doing just that, able to get the plant through. Now Skargård, he's able to get into the long angle with all of his team on the post plant. For Bings here on the rotate through the TP, trying to push forward on DM. DM has to hold it down from Hookah. The retake on Paratroops.
Yeah, we see that shot on the Biggs is gonna be detrimental for him. Catching back with his own calling. Biggs coming out from the side of Hookah just is a bit too strong, and Jimmy down in this 1 versus 2. Who's gonna be coming out on top of this situation? It's gonna be Jimmy, still holding down the side as long as he can. Has Hunter's Fury available. He has all of the time in the world. He's gonna go in for the second Hunter Fury. He has all the time to work with. And will he have enough time? Kazuri, he needs to stick it down full. And he's gonna be holding it down the side. Jimmy, he needs to get this kill. And Jimmy, he doesn't want to find it at the very last second. Kazuri instead. I thought he wasn't gonna be able to get it. But he didn't.
Need a drop.
Paratroops, they clutch out the round at the very last second. Too many emotions for me. See, I can't take this anymore.
Oh my god. Knows that he doesn't have a choice. Goes for the full stick, and I think with barely about 10 milliseconds left, he's able to do it. Close it off. Goes down at the end, but he's like, hey, I defused the spike. I did my job. I got us another match point. That momentum shift is going to be huge because GODLIKE, they're going to feel the morale hurting from not being able to pull through the round that was basically in their pockets. Now, for GODLIKE Esports, they have to hold on in defense. It's going to come down to some really nutty plays if they want us to take us to another match point here. Paratroops pushing in aggressively on the attack. It's the B side favored for both of the teams. They love this B side, and they're going to try to execute right here, right now. 3 members through long, 2 members to Hookah. The paranoia coming in goes Paratroops, but Shivy, he's holding down these elbow angles. As soon as the smoke goes down, he's going to be used. Skargård with 2, Shivy with 2 more. It's another match overtime us for here. But Kuzuri, he pulled off one. Can he pull off another? Uses his run it back. Will be able to get the spike planted, but both Flex and White House, they're going to play it safe. They're going to let him do the spike plant and then go together for the retake. Flex and White House, can you take us to another match point? Kuzuri, will you give us 2 clutches in a row?
He's looking to go in for the clutch, but at the same time, look at his health. He needs to use his hot hands to heal himself, but he's not gonna be able to. The positioning of the hot hands and his own positioning is basically in the crosshair vicinity of Flex,
Switching
especially in
sides.
this situation. If you go in for
Overtime.
the hot hands heal down inside of container, you basically are telling your opponents where exactly you're holding and where exactly you're going in for that heal. My god, Skargod with the double kill, and then immediately Shibby using the contact being made by Skargod to go in for the swing, immediately getting that kill down on the Glyph, taking him out and being just running on back. Doesn't matter if he gets that kill on the Kazuri or not, he has the information, he tells this to his team. And a beautiful clutch round, it's a 16-16 CA. At this point, it could be going into overtime number 5 after overtime number 4.
Oh my gosh, we're so close. I think we essentially have already beaten that 17-15 scoreline because the only possible way to win now is 18-16. So now looking for that 20 round mark, can this team take us, these teams take us that far? We'll have to see, man. For now, Godlike Esports on the attack, it's PARATROOPS on the defense. And at this point, all of the teams, they're throwing everything they've got, literally, not just in terms of gameplay, but their through emotions, their true firepower, the dedication and the effort put forth by all of these players. They are true esports athletes. Now you can see Godlike Esports on the attack. They love this B side, both of these teams. They'll get the spike planted, they'll play for the post plant. It's Whitehouse on the lurk.
Yeah.
DM with the aggressive push, he's able to pick up first blood. DM and Flex just holding down that cube with Skargod. They're going to go for the peak. The Glyph getting tagged through the smoke. What is that prediction? Takes down Glyph, able to secure a 2-man advantage. This time, Godlike Esports looking for their own match point, but not if Eric and Eddie have to say about it. It's Binks trying to Kuzuri trying to push in, but Godlike. Last 2 rounds aggressive, it was match point for PARATROOPS back to back and Godlike fighting against the clock.
Switching
But
sides.
this time
Match
it's
point.
Godlike picking up match point. So PARATROOPS, they're gonna have to rally strong because this is where Godlike will make their stand.
Heroics from these teams are just absolutely incredible, especially you have to give it a Whitehorse as well to get such a beautiful hold down on the side of Hookah as well, because the way he placed down the turret on top of the crate basically meant that the turret takes first contact. Kazuri's gonna try and break this turret, goes in for the flick and could not get the reverse flick down onto Whitehorse, meaning that Whitehorse, he took the easiest fight of his entire career, pretty much just catching an unsuspecting Kazuri at that angle. Was able to close out that round, and Skargod so beautiful with his two-smoke skill. The game sense reigning supreme, knows the timings, knows the fact that Glyph loves to push that angle, was able to take that advantage away from them. And it seems as though this time around, PARATROOPS, they're opting to go towards this A side, but no, they are not. They're actually opting to go in for the wraparound play down on the B once again. But this time around, it seems as though from the side of the defense, this is just a 2-man hold down in B, and Shivy, he has a very aggressive positioning down on his side, and he's gonna get caught off guard.
Now Glyph able to pick up the first one. DM King answers back. DM King looking for more. He'll pick up the second. But Easy and Edit, the answer back is going to be down to Flex and Whitehouse to pull it off. Now the plant hasn't come through. Whitehouse can delay the plant. He's going to take down the spike carrier. Huge kill for Whitehouse and Flex. Eric will find the trade, but Eric is really low. Whitehouse has his turret. If he puts up his turret, he's going to get the information of Eric's positioning, but not going to look to reveal his own. Instead, just play for the time, play against the clock, knows that Eric has to drop down, has to get to the spike now. He will put down the turret.
30
That
seconds
turret
left.
should Eric able to dodge it out, but it reveals it. It's Whitehorse with the clutch.
Defenders
What a
win.
play. Match point, series point. It's Godlike Esports 18-16, taking it down, setting a date with Global Esports in the grand finals for that rematch to get their vengeance. Damn, this was intense.
I don't know if I can talk anymore at this point, CA. We're both just out of breath. Our emotions have been toyed with enough. It is Godlike. It is PARATROOPS. A match for the books. A match for the ages. And this match has been so goddamn intense. Like, honestly, there's a lot to talk about. I don't think we can in a short span of time.
I know, right? Like, both of these teams, first of all, they deserve a kudos. But talking about this specific round, Whitehouse and Flex. Damn, the plays. Whitehouse especially able to take down the spike carrier. Easy was not able to get the spike planted, but in that 1v1, playing very slowly, I realized that if he put up the turret immediately, he would have revealed his position to Eric. Instead, keeping Eric guessing, forcing Eric to jump down from the window. He uses the audio cue to then set up the turret exactly near the spike, basically inviting Eric to either walk into the turret or walk into his own hands. Whitehouse with the clutch able to push the side of Godlike Esports to grand finals. But once again, DM King and Flex, Last time it was DM edging out Flex barely with 2 ACS. This time with a significant lead, 34 kills to his name. But unlike yesterday's 34 kills with 27 deaths, showing us exactly how good Paratroops were as well. Oh my god, I am flabbergasted by how good these teams were. I think, as you said, we have plenty to talk about. So let's just quickly go to the LG Ultra Gear match highlights, really talk about this entire series and this particular map. Aggressive your prediction on point. We did beat that 17-15 overtime scoreline. We didn't get to the 20 mark just yet, though, so maybe the next time these teams meet up. But for now, I have to give props to Paratroops because coming into 2021, they had a couple of new members. They showed us a really strong Paratroops, a really clean Paratroops, a lot of setups being shown through practice made through customs, a lot of dedication put into understanding the post-plant positions, really translated into a huge boost for them. This is a team we regularly would see finishing in the top 8, but a top 3 finish for them the first time, and I'm sure 2021 is going to propel this team to new heights. For Godlike Esports though, this is just the start. The revenge is on. They're going to look to global esports now on the grand finals. I have to give props to one particular player. Like, I think DM and Flex, they showed us yesterday how good they were. But Scargod and Whitehorse today, for me, like the consistency with which they're able to continuously use their utility in combination with Shivy as well. These 3 supportive players really shining today, stepping up and helping Godlike get to the grand finals.
I completely agree with you on that, and especially for the fact that I would say the MVPs for this game, yes, of course, we see it on the scoreboard, being DM, being Flex, them just showing their flashy aim and all of the things that they did, but we also do need to talk about the people that are in the back lines, like allowing them to just pop the hell off, the people taking first contact, the people throwing out the recons, people throwing out the smokes. They are just so consistent in the way that they were able to just set up a lot of these plays in a lot of the rounds as well. They were able to win those rounds because of the utility coming out from the side of Godlike's supportive players. The mollies from Scargod, the mollies from the Killjoy, every single thing came into fruition, and this is why Godlike were able to edge out that win. Even though Paratroops are the ones to establish the meta, the utility-based meta, it seems that the Godlike, they were able to catch on it real quick and use their own utility to go up against the juggernauts that were Paratroops when it came to their own strategy. This time around, I will say that Paratroops, they just need to iron out some of the small problems, and it seems as though in the long run they had the issues because their stamina was waning, the strategies were running on thin. But when it came to the side of Godlike, they were just so ready, they were just so prepared, and every single time Paratroops established a new strategy for their overtime rounds, it seems as though Godlike, they took that one-up advantage and they're like, I'm going to think of something a bit more different. I'm going to catch you off guard every single time. And TM, with his aggressive pushes, he constantly took the fight to the entirety of Paratroops, forcing them to take those 1v1 duels and coming out on top in his own engagements.
Yeah, it was just a phenomenal map and a phenomenal series from both of these teams. So please, to every single one of these 10 players, take a bow because you deserve all the praise in the world for being such top athletes, really going out for such a long time. I will say for Paratroops though, like the idea that this team has an individual personality with which they play. Like if I don't see the names on the calling card like of the particular teams, but if you show me a particular round with Paratroops playing the way they do, it will be very easy to recognize them because they have their own signature identity, and I always appreciate that. Comfort always greater than meta, so we'll see if Paratroops can they bring through the meta too, somehow find a balance between them and try to get to the grand finals next time. But for now, Godlike, they take the cake. They'll be going on to the next stage, and we'll see them later today. So make sure you hit that like button, show your support to these teams and to the stream, and hit that notifications bell. Make sure you're on time for the grand finals. You don't want to miss a single minute of it. Also, check out the links in the description below for some amazing deals, as well as our social media, so you can go see all the funny moments brought to you by the TEC, as well as any other content brought to you in the future. Now, for now, we're going to take a small break. Give Godlike as well because they've got a thunderous series to come later today. We'll see you later in the grand finals with the LG Ultragear TEC Valorant Invitational Tournament.